I've been involved in the club since probably, when was it, back about 2013. All my kids played here, so my son played all his junior footy here. As I mentioned, the girls played netball here. Yeah, I've always, it's a great committee here at East, really proactive people. So I've always been involved in one way or another, either helping out with sponsorship or doing a role. But yeah, look, just so happened that the presidency role came up. Sean wanted a break, which was, good on him. He's done such a good job for such a long time. Like I said, it was an honour to, jump in there and take off where he left off.
Grubby, you know the O'Leary family pretty well. How would you like to be coming in as president with all the family looking over your shoulder? It'd be a bit of daunting, wouldn't it?
Well, it probably would be, although the rumour going around East Geelong that I've been told is that already that, Dan, you're a better president than Mick and Sean put together. Would that be right? Now, play along here. Would that be right?
Well, I won't play that down. I'll take the compliment. No, look, the O'Leary family are, they're an institution here at East. So, yeah, big shoes to fill, and it's, sometimes it's good having an outsider come in that's not an O'Leary, join the committee and take on a role like this. It's nice for them to actually come to the footy and actually be able to watch the footy and not have to worry about the canteen and everything else that comes with it.
Well, over the years, we know KO was the biggest cheat going around, but we just seen Mick pay 17 free kicks to East Geelong and none to Winch. He's a pea out of the old pot, isn't he, old Mick?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like Mick gets a bit of a tough rap from the boys. Like I think he's a pretty fair umpire, but he certainly gets a bit of a rap when he comes in after the game, because they always seem to think he favours the opposition teams a little bit too much.
No, not from where I sit. But and just on this again, of course, you can't forget Christine. She's been around a long, long time and a beautiful person. And as I say, you've got someone to fall back on with these people. Look, when you talk about Geelong footballing families, they're up there with the best of them and the longest of them. They're just fantastic. So if you've got a problem, you can always fall back on going and see any of them.
Unbelievable. And, it certainly, was a role that I was happy to take up, certainly walking into a very, very stable committee. You've got some fantastic people around. You've got, as you mentioned, Christine and KO and Mick and Sean, and everyone's here. So, look, it's certainly like a great place to be.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, Smithy, you've got questions, haven't you?
No, I haven't actually. I'm listening to you, Blake. So actually,
Dan, I've got a question which trips up some particularly new presidents where you're involved in the club. You get emotional about what's happening on the ground. How have you been able to have complete trust in the football department and just go away and you do your job, focus on the outside stuff without getting too involved?
Look, I think that's one of the best things. East do quite well. The football people look after the football, the netball people look after the netball. Everyone's got their designated role, and everyone has done that role for a period of time. So you can really have, a lot of trust that everything that needs to be done is getting done. In there, and I know that Mick looks after the football department, Mick O'Leary, so he's doing a great job, and I know that will be well looked after. I don't even have to look over that way. Likewise in the netball, Brooke looks after the netball, and Gail's obviously involved in the netball, so that's all sorted, it's all done. Really stable environment from a governance perspective. So yeah, for me, it's just jumping in and probably doing what I can do and add in any sort of little bits and pieces where I can.
Ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. Then I'm walking in Memphis.
Yeah, we're on YouTube though.
Walking with my feet 10 feet off.
Yeah, just on that new coach as well this season. New president, new coach, and over in the netball section, you've got a slightly different structure with Justine coaching in her own right. So even though you are club champions and there's a lot going right, you're constantly evolving as well. So being in touch with each other and supporting each other remains.
he's got probably a little bit of a different style to Ben. He's got a different game plan. Taken the boys a few weeks, obviously, to really flesh that out. But last week they came home with like full of energy, and really ran over the top of Banno, which was a great win last week. We're really thrilled to get that win. So look, I'm excited for what Tommy can bring to this group.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've said it twice about club champions this and club champions that. That's just bullshit. That's just like dancing with your sister. Are we going to win the flag, mate? That's what it's all about. Don't worry about club champions. Winning the flag's what it's all about.
It is what it's all about, and I'm hoping to be standing there in September, not just with the football premierships, like both premierships, but the netball premierships as well. Like last year, we had an A-grade netball premiership. Our under 15s won, our under 17s won as well, which was unbelievable. Like 3 flags. We hope to replicate that this year. You never be too confident, but we've got a great group. Everyone's working really hard to make sure we come home with some silverware. East haven't had, they've had some down years, and they're an old club with lots of history, and there's plenty of trophies in the cupboard. We want to get some new ones, and certainly this year that's what we're aiming for.
Well, last year, and obviously the East hierarchy and they've been disappointed going out in the finals, but I wasn't disappointed in them. At the start of the year, I thought their goal was probably not this year, but we'll do enough for next year. I think where they went wrong is they played too well. They played over their expectations during the year, and all of a sudden, their expectations actually rose. But from their original expectations, I thought it went to plan, and now they've got to do the next step this year, which they look like they're on the way to doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty fair summation. It's a young group. There's a fair few young players there in that senior team, and that's been one of the really nice things to see at East. That whether it be Ben last year or Tommy this year, they give the young fellas a go, and they're not they'll throw them in, and they'll prepare them, they'll get them right, and they'll put them in. The young fellas have really come on. So this year, when I looked at the team at the start of the year, we didn't have too many ins and outs, but it was really up to how much are those young fellas going to improve, and they have improved a lot. So Caleb Ezard's been sensational for us. Last year he was up and down in between the 2s and the 1s, and this year he's played all his footy in the 1s, and he's been looking great. Ben Crombie, another young player, looking fantastic. Obviously the Mulvale boys, they're looking great too. So it's really a young group. Last year was a good experience for them to get where they needed to get to, and unfortunately they missed out and they fell short a little bit. But hopefully this year they can go up another notch and bring home that flag.
And there's another one we noticed. Huey Menzies back from a serious shoulder injury,
He's had a
trotting
couple of
around.
touches.
He looks like he could do with a gallop, the big fella. I reckon he's a bit underdone, to say the least.
I think it's fair to say he had a pretty good off season, and look, he got the call up actually this morning. He wasn't planning on playing today, but he had the shoulder operation in October. He's done all the work, everything he can. He's certainly needs a bit of touch, and hopefully he gets through unscathed today. That's the plan. But yeah, I saw him running around there, take a few marks, and no doubt he'll be a dangerous player once he gets a bit of fitness back.
Now I know Grubby played down the club championship, but outside of winning flags, doing everything right club-wise, you fill the place up on a Thursday night, all your functions are well attended. You've got a good relationship between footy and netball, because as well as you wanting to lure players to the club, you also want to make sponsors a place where they want to come and show off their wares and be involved in the club. And I guess being president, that's more in your wheelhouse than what goes on the ground. So how have you been able to function in that area?
Yeah, look, Damien Mulville, he's the father of Ben and Osti that play in the, Ben's actually running out here in the 2s today.
Connected with the Connectel company?
Yeah, that's Damien. And
sponsor of the GDFNL?
He looks after our sponsorship, does a fantastic job. We're blessed to have, some fantastic sponsors here, like our major sponsors, Auswide Plumbing and Civil, amazing, signed on with us for 3 years. Simon and Cal, they're really integral parts of the club. Simon's been involved in the club since he actually lived a drop kick away from the ground, and his dad Con was a bit of a legend of down here, and
Sheehan?
Con Sheehan, yep, that's right. So Cal's just come off the netball court there in D grade. Great club people, great sponsors, like all our sponsors, and we're lucky. Like I think if you've got a good environment and you've got a good product, sponsors will come to you, and we've been lucky that sponsors have come to us and want to back our club.
Yeah, it's an important part because it takes a lot of money to run a club these days, and
Absolutely.
you can sell so many sausages and raffle tickets, but eventually you want organisations that can see the value of being attached. You want them on
100%,
board.
Yeah, and look, I must say that the GDFL, they're always fantastic supporters of this league, and they run this league so well. Without their help and assistance as well, I think a lot of clubs would certainly find it a lot tougher.
Grubby's point was quite relevant too about last year. I agree 100% with what he said about maybe going too hard too early. So the straight sets out didn't surprise, but what it does is create expectations of this year. You've talked a lot about the positive things that are going on. Are you at the stage now where it's almost premiership or bust, or is it still part of the journey?
I think it's still a little bit early in the year. I mean, it's a bit hard to get a read on all clubs until you play them at least once. Obviously, we've won our first 4. Geelong West put up a real good show, and I think they'll be up there and abouts this year. I'd expect Winch to be pretty tough competition today. So I think until we see all the teams once at least, we'll know where we are then. But I certainly think, from what I've seen so far, the boys are certainly on the right track to be sitting there and abouts at the end of the year.
Well, Dan, thank you very much for your time. Best wishes today. You'll probably be a little more on edge, both footy and netball, playing against pretty good opposition in both. But we'll see you in the rooms at half-time, hopefully, and see if you've got a grin on your face or looking a bit dour.
And you'll get really, really well looked after next week too.
Good on you, fellas. Appreciate your time.
Good on you.
Thank you.
Dan Payne, the new president of the East Geelong Football Netball Club, telling it how it
Thanks,
is,
mate.
and really
Thanks very
appreciate the time. We'll go back to you boys in the studio, take a short break, and be back here for the match of the day, East Geelong versus Winchelsea. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. GDFNL match of the day at East Geelong. East Geelong versus Winchelsea. In the reserve game that's going on at the moment, East Geelong are leading 30-16. So that's 4-6-30 to 2-4-16. We're in the early stages of the final quarter. A very low-scoring game. Conditions are okay. You'd think it was horrible, wet and windy, but it's not. There's a slight breeze. It's an awfully cold breeze coming from the Southdale. You really needed the pom-pom on, which you've got.
We've gone for everything today, mate. The jumper, didn't have a jacket, but found the jumper in the car and a beanie also. So we've loaded up. Hopefully it doesn't get any cooler than this, but I think it might just around about 4:30. So
yeah, I think we've got some rain forecast to come. But at the moment, the conditions are quite okay for footy. It is cold, but it's dry. The ground's very sound. It should be perfect. We'll go through the rest of today's games very shortly. Grubby's just had to step out for a minute. Just want to pay cheerio to our good mate Steelo, who's normally back in the studio. He's up at Cooper Pedy on a bit of a holiday, so good afternoon to you, David Steele, and enjoy your rest, as the boys said, and particular thanks to Alan and Robert back in the studio for giving up their Saturday afternoon to make this coverage possible. We really do appreciate it. So, Dale, there are other matches around, and you would have been a brave man to suggest that Inverleigh would go into round 5 with one win. They've got Anarchy today, which is probably internally a chance for them to just take a breath and get themselves back on the horse.
they need to take the breath and get back on the horse. But as I said, injuries have really hurt them this year. As I said, they haven't been able to put anything near their best side on the field. And again today, the same thing is happening again. They've got Dalton Grundle coming back into their side today, which is good for them. But as I said, they've still got quite a few players missing. Matty Tygwin's still not playing. Hussey's not playing. Jared Love's still not playing. There was a couple of others.
These are all sort of long-termers too. That's the problem they've got.
Yeah, I think so, and that's the worst thing about it. As I said, they will get them back, but they've got to be. I'm not saying they don't need to be somewhere abouts, but they will win games of football to keep them thereabouts to get back into finals footy. But you really want them to be doing it from 4th or 5th. As I said, we know it's pretty hard to do it from 4th or 5th. You'd really like to see that we're doing it, from 1, 2 or 3. And they need to win this afternoon. They'll do that out there. The second half of the game last week, we were out at Karaya watching them play Anarchy, we're talking about, and they held their own against Anarchy in the second half. They were pretty good, and it was just a really good, honest effort from them. They'll need to do that pretty much from the day they start today to give any shape or form and have a chance to win out there today. Again, they did some good things. Inverleigh need to win this game, and look, if they can't win this game by 60 or 70 points, I think they're going to need that for the percentage coming later on in the year, so it'll be very interesting there as well.
Another game that's very interesting today is Corio, who have been quite good. They had a really bad day at Thompson, but their year's been pretty good. They had their first win last week, and they go to Geelong West. Geelong West were terrible last week against Thompson. I know they've got their two key forwards that we got excited about, Hubbard and Dye. Neither of them played, but to be belted like they were, I think it was something like 35 scoring shots to 10. That was really, really disappointing for West. So again, like Inverleigh, they might be expecting today to be a chance for them to get things back organised, but they won't want to be too casual at Corio, will they?
I don't think they will. I suppose we made mention to it last week. Grubby said after the game, I don't reckon Darren Bennett would have been happy with their second half of football. I know you win games of football, but in all the time they've been out there, they've copped some big losses in the recent years, and that would have been a great chance for them to actually, I suppose, impose a bit more pain on Anarchy. But as I said, Anarchy came out after half time. To be honest, I think they may have even outscored them after half time. Yeah, so in that sense, I don't think they did enough to make sure that they, as I said, to come against quite a different opposition this afternoon. They needed to be more prominent, more doing better things in that second half of football. They can't afford to have a lull like they did last week. Otherwise, this Geelong West side will take them out of the park and make a bit of a mess of them. So, again, it's important for them to start well, but it's also, again, the after half time is when they really need to make sure they can continue with that form and make sure they don't get too far out of the contest and be thereabouts.
With the second 18 match on, Winchelsea have just kicked a goal, maybe against the tide a bit. They've gone to 3-4-22, but East have a pretty comfortable lead at this stage of 5-7-31. So it's a 9-point advantage to East. And we're at the 14-minute mark of the final quarter. Now, as good as today's game is, there are a couple of other really good ones. And we'll go down to Werribee. Grubby's rejoined us after having to step out of the box. But Werribee take on Thompson, who are undefeated and looking good. But Werribee's last couple of weeks would have filled the club with confidence. And Grubby, looking at their team list, they've got some very, very good players back. We've just had a little technical issue, and while he's back, he's not quite back.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so just give us an update on what you're picking up out of Werribee. But I looked at their team last week, and they're starting to get a side back that looks more like their 2021 team.
Yes, I think they've still got a bit to go for that, but they're up against some pretty good opposition today. And I think probably what you may have missed there is that we're talking about West Form, but West Form's last week might be due to the way Thompson played, because they're playing real well. But it'll be a pretty good game. But it's a bit of a pity it's wet, because I just think two sides going at it like that in the dry, it'd just be better to watch. And like all the games, but we saw Thompson first round and they were okay, but they've played a hell of a lot better since. They got that centre forward that we saw the first game in Darcy Troop. Now they've got blokes like Freeman come back into the side, Jacques come back into the side, Jard Anderson, who's a very good player. They've got a very good ruckman. That'll be a huge tussle today down there, because, as I've said many a times, Paddy Daly's a good ruckman, but he's
similar, aren't they?
Yeah, he's still probably learning how to play football, but it'll be a good contest in the ruck. Young Mitch Ellis returned to the club and kicked 5 last week, but they had a big win, so let's see if he can do it under pressure. Tyler Crennan, well, he's been down a little bit, but if you notice Belpo still, they get in front of him at the centre bounce, which to me is a free kick. It's just retarded him from the contest. But young, what's the kid that won the Hotham Hotel? Culliver. Young Culliver's a good player. McDonald might be all right. They had a bloke walk into the club on Thursday night and said, I want to play. So they watched him train. They put him in the second straight away without training. Young Matt Watts, he's a pretty good player. Played senior WRFL football, but hasn't played for 3 or 4 years. So they can get him back to his best. They're going to look a lot better. As I say, Thompson, on the other hand, I think they're going to be there when the whips are cracking. At the moment, I look at East, I look at Belpost Hill, and I look at Thompson in the same vein. I don't quite look at Werribee like that. I hope, obviously. But and I think they will get better. It'll be a good game down there. I'm not sure Werribee are just quite good enough to beat the Tommy Tigers today. They might, but I think I'll go for Thompson just. But hopefully that I'm wrong.
Yeah, by all reports last week, Thompson in their second half of footy were just outstanding. I was talking to a couple of Geelong West boys, and they said they tried a couple of things, but he said it didn't matter what they did, nothing seemed to work. They were just on their game. They played some good footy, and obviously now with that confidence about, I suppose as the season goes on, and some new blokes coming into their side, so they've had a number of changes to their squad as well, Thompson. So they're getting more confidence in their group, so they'll be very hard to beat. But again, Werribee, as I said, from what I've seen of them, they haven't been too disappointing. I think they have improved definitely from last year. It's a game where you don't want to go up the highway and take things lightly, because things could get pretty nasty on you. But I agree with Grubby. I think Thompson just at the moment just a little bit too good.
Well, sorry, but the other thing is too, and I'm not having a go at, there's new coaches in, there's coaches that have been around. This bloke's legit, right? This bloke is legit. He's possibly the best coach in the comp. That Lynch, he's been around, he knows how to coach, and he's legit. So that gives you a bit of a, I reckon it gives you a bit of a head start when you've got a coach who really knows what he's doing.
Just want to take back to something you said before. Now, I know that Dale and I struggle in the area of pronunciation. You're our go-to man for that. You said Alish.
Yeah.
We call him Alush. It sounds better. What's the correct one?
Well, my best mate is his uncle, Diamond Jim Spider Alish. And that's what we've called him for 55 years. So you can call him whatever you want. But at least it's not Uma Booma Boomerang or what he was calling this bloke last week. But
Yeah, we do struggle in that area. Now, it's another good game. Both sides, probably aren't going to play finals, but they've sort of teased a bit, as they did exactly the same last year. North Geelong and Belmont, they've played quarters where you'd think, oh, what a great side they are, and they fall away badly. They're against each other today. How do you see that one playing out at Winter Resort?
well, it's at the Winter Resort, which has got to favour the Belmont boys. And both sides have played some particularly good football at different stages. And I reckon North Geelong's been doing that for a little while now. So, and I think they'll come out of it. Belmont the same. I really can't understand. I thought they'd give Werribee a run for their money last week, and Werribee belted them. And it just worries me that, well, it might be that we're underestimating Werribee a little bit, but I thought they'd go a little bit better last week, and after that form, I think it gives North Geelong a chance. I know they're different games, but North Geelong, only 3 or 4 goals Werribee beat them by. I think it's a matter of who can play their best footy for the longest. You know, when you play the really good sides, they can play their best footy for 15, 20 minutes and beat you. But these two sides can't. They're going to play their best footy for 4 quarters. So whoever does that will win today's game. I'm going to lean towards North, but I'm not really sure.
I remember last year we saw a game out at North Geelong where Belmont kicked 10 goals in a quarter.
Yeah.
And were outscored in the other 3
quarters.
But still won the game. So North are certainly capable, but fitness seems to be an issue. Their last quarters, second halves have been really poor for most of the year, so that could be their undoing again. Another big one, Bell Post Hill, we rate highly. We saw them lose a game they probably shouldn't have against, who was that?
Werribee.
And they take on Bannockburn today, a loser's last round. It's at Bell Post Hill. That would be a good one to be watching as well.
Well, there's 2 or 3 match of the days today, and that's one of them. And it's up at Bell Post Hill, and I can't remember the last time Bell Post Hill, except for that one year that they've lost 2 in a row at home. But Bannockburn have looked good. We've seen Bannockburn a couple of times. I think their kids have kept them in it. You know, the young Hose and Elzinger and a few of those kids. Yeah, they've kept them in it a bit. And you've got to worry a little bit about consistency with your kids, because it's very hard for the young fellas to play, you know, every week really, really good. Bell Post Hill, on the other hand, they've got very, very experienced players. You know, I don't know if Dylan Whitney's playing. They said he'd play a couple, but they're well led by Yates. I think they might have got over the top of Werribee if they had a kick straight and the quarter went a bit longer. I think they probably would have won that.
They missed some really, really easy ones and get done by 2.
Yeah, they did, and I'm sorry for interrupting while you're talking, but but that's a very hard one to judge. Bannockburn, yeah, I like the way they played, but I just think up there, 2 losses in a row doesn't happen much. I'm going to go for Bell Post Hill again in an unbelievably tight one.
Okay, well, we're here just today because it has been selected as the match of the day. We've talked about how exciting it is. Righto, gentlemen, find me a winner. What do you reckon, Dale?
Well, as I said, winning form's good form. As I said, East Geelong have proven that from way to go so far. They are going to be the yardstick. They finished on top of the ladder last year. They lost a lot of players, but they've been able to obviously cover them off pretty nicely, and they've got a pretty good group back together. Haven't seen Winchelsea play either, so again, a little bit of the unknown for me. As I said, I don't like to look into too many sides until I've actually seen them play, but from all reports last week, we're pretty good to get over the top of Inverleigh. As I said, kicked the last 3 goals of the game, which gave them that 12-point buffer, and some players, obviously Tav Sawney back into their side, and a few other blokes coming back in. There's a few Henrys coming. There was another Henry now. There's 2 parishes come back to the club from Grovedale, so they're going to provide a bit of a bite, you would think, from there. And I'm not too sure about the 2 Eagle boys. Were they there last year or not?
No.
So where have they come from?
Oh, I've got it there somewhere.
Western suburbs, Melbourne.
I'll find it, but one's a ruckman apparently.
Okay. So that's obviously something that they needed to obviously put into their group as well. So again, without having seen these guys or both sides play, I'm really looking forward to this afternoon's contest. Because it's here at East, I think I'll stick with the home side. As I said, they haven't done anything wrong for me to pick against them at this stage. But Winchelsea, as I said, well coached by Butch Shaw, and it will be a very interesting game to watch.
Just apologies to listeners. We're having a bit of trouble with volumes. There's a very common theme coming through
Not really.
on the text,
Not
but
really.
we hopefully will fix that up.
That's not a problem.
It's not a problem?
No, because it's only you. Me and Smithy have been heard properly, so
Well, it's probably a good thing then.
with the rubbish that you talk, I think it's good for the broadcast myself. Now, I haven't got where they have come from, but one's a key forward and one's a ruckman, so the Eagle boys. So they're both pretty big blokes. And I think you might have left out, I didn't hear you say Brenton Reese. Someone told me he was a very, very, very good player, and I'm really, really excited to watch Brenton because they reckon he can play a bit.
Yes, he is a good player. He's played at GFL with St Joseph's and at Newcombe last year before coming to Winch. Very, very highly rated. I know he's won a lot of fans inside the club as well. Darcy Parrish's 2 little brothers, Winch homegrown products. They've been off playing footy elsewhere, Falcons and GFL footy. they're both into the midfield, and I'm really excited about having a look at them. We're not expecting them to be like their big brother who's starring at the Bombers, but I reckon they'll make a really big contribution. One as a genuine inside mid, the other one coming off half-back in Finn. But they're going to add a fair bit to it. And they're going to match that same game style that East have made their own, which is the old bell post hill, get the ball, keep possession, short kicks, run hard, spread well, all of that type. That's one to East's favourite. Seems to be Winch's game plan as well.
Well, it does, and we've just got a text from David Steele saying I'm dead set right when I talk about we haven't got any problems with your sound.
Thank you. It's all organised.
East. I think they're the real deal, East. As I said to Dan, I thought they were about the third or fourth best side last year, right up until the end. Then I thought they were one of the best, but they just fell short. I think that mantle will rest pretty easy with them at the moment. I think they're pretty much as good as anybody in the comp. All they've got to do now is play consistent football. The coaching will be pretty much the same because I think young Mars will take a lot from Benny. And the player, look, they've lost a couple of good players. Brent McGrath's a really good player. Belitho's a good player. Vesakuru is a good player. But from what I've been told, they've replaced them with players of equal ability. And their kids are going to get better and better and better. The one we couldn't think of the other day was young Ben Crombie, the little fella. Good player. Huey Menz, we watched run around in the twos. What's the other kid's name, the two of them? Mulvale, or whatever their name is. They are going to be good players. And again, they're going to have a little bit of problem with consistency because they're so young. But East have got enough experience to back it up and get them through it. And the bloke at full 40 kicks goals at will. Watson Searle, I like watching him. He's got to kick some goals against some good sides. I know it's easy to kick goals, against the lower sides. But for them to be a good side, he's got to, and he will, because he's a damn good player. They've got the best ruckman in the comp. He's won a Whitley medal, and he's a terrific footballer. I think East today, but I think we're going to judge Winch today on how they play. I'm not going to judge them by the scoreboard to see if I give them a chance to make the final five at the end of the year. We'll just have a look at them and see how they play. That'll give us some idea, regardless of the scoreboard.
Now, Grubby, are you willing to give the Hotham Hotel Player of the Day to Sam Lowe at this early stage?
Well, I've already written Sam down. I'll wait till quarter time before I write Lowe. But I tell you what, he only has to get about 8 or 9 touches, and he'll have more than the bloke Hughes gave it to last week. Because I watched the whole video. He had 11 touches for the whole day. 11.
Well, he made their best 6 and the best.
No, their best 7 if you look at it.
It doesn't matter. Wasn't their best players.
No, he wasn't. But when he won the thing, I think we better put him in. So they threw him in.
Who was that? I wasn't there. I'm not guilty last week.
I can't remember his name. Because I can't remember his calling him very
well,
much.
I hopefully enjoyed his Wagyu steak at the Hotham Hotel anyway.
Well, I tell you what, he should have got a doggy bag and took it around the Dale and Spider's house. That's what he should have done.
Oh, dear. Now, that wind is blowing a little more strongly now from the southwest. It is very cold, but at this stage, no sign of rain. The ground is in pristine condition. We're expecting this to be a very high-quality game. Both sides on the ground doing warm-ups. Grubby, have you got the umpires for today?
No.
No?
No, I have got the reserve score, though.
That'd be good, thank you.
Werribee seconds beat Thompson by a point.
Oh, that's a good result. And here, Geelong East Geelong, hung on to win 31-22, a 9-point win to them over a very dogged and much improved Winchelsea seconds. And that's the thing, Dale, you measured about depth. Just watching them play, they've probably got half a dozen blokes out there that could come in and fill a spot in the seniors. Last year, they had none. And that makes a big difference.
Just talking to Daniel Grisky over the far side, he's over the same opinion. I said it's nice to be able to just, even if you've got 7 or 8 that can come in and actually just be that fill-in for you, whether it's 2 of them, 3 of them, or 4 of them, you just have that same confidence. But when you bring up blokes that you know that they won't give you anything but their best, but they're not quite up to playing senior football, it does make a hell of a difference. So, as I said, they have been able to cover off a few of their injury also. So it's been good for Winchelsea to be able to do that. As I said, the knowledge now that even in their seconds today, there's still a couple of footballers out there that can still look like they could handle themselves at senior level. So again, East Geelong, same boat. As I said, we already mentioned a couple of them playing in the twos today. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all turns out today.
Grubby, you mentioned the goal-kicking prowess of Watson Searle and Zach Smith's also multiple goal kicker. To be a real chance in the finals, is it really important to have a key focal point in the forward line, or can you spread goals around? Because at this stage, Winch look like they've been spreading theirs around.
Yeah, well, the East don't usually, and look, I don't normally say critical things or criticise players too much, but I just thought Zach Smith was a bit lazy and didn't play his best footy in the finals last year. And I reckon he'd have got to kick up the bum from the coaching fraternity, and I think he'll show this year that he's a lot better player than that. Watson Searle, he played all right, but no, you do have to have that focal point as far as I'm concerned. But I tell you what, I must apologise. Cogsy sent me the umpires in the on the text and the email, and I wrote them down in my book. But I wrote them down in the wrong bloody book, and that's still sitting on the table at home. So I know we haven't got Mark Nolan because he's down at Werribee. He's already had a go at Mitchell, I think. But yeah, so I haven't got the umpires' names because that's my fault. So I apologise for that. But I know over the last few weeks the umpiring has improved immensely. I know we had a couple earlier that we weren't great about, but we found out they were young blokes coming into the game. You leave them alone, they'll get there. But the umpire's been pretty good the last couple of weeks, and I expect it to be no different today.
Well, Zach Smith has certainly got a jumper this year that's 1 or 2 sizes smaller than the one he wore last year. So that might be an indication that kick up the backside he got after the finals was in fact delivered, because he did look to be carrying a lot of weight. He still is a little bit this year, but he's a much slimmer version, and I expect him to play more of a versatile role in the forward line rather than just being the coming out of the goal square type player that he was a lot last year. And for that reason, East might have an advantage. But I know as a player I want you to keep an eye on Jordan Gould, for Winch. Rated highly, kicked a couple last week, but I think he's been starting to show his wear. So he may actually be that key forward they're looking for. He's a big lump of a lad, and it'll be interesting to watch him to see if he can fill that void for Winch. But they've got a good spread of goal-kicking midfielders which they've been relying on so far. Righto, we're about to get started. We might go back to you blokes in the studio for a quick announcement. We'll announce our first quarter sponsor, Fairhaven Homes, right now. They'll bring up the game, and we're just a couple of minutes away from starting. Back to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Here we are back at the Auswide Plumbing and Civil Oval, home ground of the East Geelong Eagles. They're taking on the Winchelsea Blues today. We're about to get underway as players moving to their positions, and it has been a very busy day. We've had a few technical issues, had a few issues with volume. The messages are coming in thick and fast. Poor old Grubby can't concentrate. He's getting hammered with abuse and support and encouragement.
Freeman's
advice.
out at Thompson, I got.
Freeman's out at Thompson.
He's out.
Oh, that'll be costly. Very important player.
Well, maybe these idiots will just let us commentate and just leave me alone now. We're starting, boys, so nick off.
Okay, back in the middle, Dale Smith is going to kick this game off. We've got the reigning Neville Whitley medalist, Tim McLennan, will take charge for East Geelong in the middle of the ground. It's very, very windy from the south. It's a cold wind, but at this stage, no rain and a beautiful surface to play on. Dale Smith, get us underway.
No wind?
Oh, sorry, no rain. Plenty of wind.
Plenty of wind. It's starting to pick up already, mate. And as I said, that can't be good. But anyway, we hopefully have a good game of football here this afternoon. And it's going to be interesting to see how we go. Tav Sawney hasn't changed. He's still got a different coloured boot in each foot, so he's easy to pick up.
Who's got the win, do you reckon?
East Geelong. Who's going that way? Who's kicking down the bottom? I reckon East have got the win first quarter, so the ball in the air. Henry does a ruck work. Ball comes out of that contest, picked up in there by Sheriff Stevenson. Handball goes back outside. Crombie's in there looking for some options, but he didn't have one, so put boot to ball. Goes back to the middle of the ground, coming through. I think that picked up by Winchelsea. The handball's a bit hot there. Ball's going to run towards the boundary line. Picked up out there this time by Andrews. Goes back again to Crombie. Looks up, goes long into the middle of the centre half forward position. Gets out in the back of the contest. Again, Winchelsea with some numbers. Handball over the top, wasn't good. Ends up there in the hands of Mulville. He gets the handball away. Smith runs onto it. 10 yards out. Kicks, misses. I was going to say misses everything, but has got a minor score. So Zach Smith puts East Geelong on the board with a minor score. They are one straight behind. We've only gone 40 seconds. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
I reckon it might be played up one end of the ground today, boys, by the looks of it.
The flag's sort of fluttering across, but definitely favouring the, what would you call it? It's not the city end. Anyway,
the netball end.
The netball court end. Ball's come back in. Eagle sets himself, punched away from him, coming through quickly, free strong. Billy Andrew gets the ball inside to McIntyre, has been a very good player. That left foot of his pops it up into the hot spot. Players coming through there, bursting through the pack for East Geelong there was Watson Searle. He was tackled. Umpire said not correct disposal, and Winchelsea will take the kick now. It's kicked out again towards Eagle. Can't hold the ball this time. Henry gets it. Hand passes further down the line. Picks it up himself. Ball comes back inside there to Scott. Jonty Scott for Winchelsea. He can't control it. It's out of bounds right in front of the commentary box here. And we're about to have it thrown in. McLennan and Eagle. Eagle, a much bigger, stronger looking man. McLennan will do him for versatility. Coming through the pack there very strongly is Reese. Hand passes back, but Mars for East Geelong kicks quickly. But that heads forward, and coming through to mark there for Winch is Finn Parrish. Bad hand pass, lands at the feet of Stevenson. He kicks across into the middle of the ground. Punched away from his teammate. Picked up by Crombie. Gets it across to Andrew. A dinky little kick into the back line. Winch come out, tackled very quickly there. Is their defender. Invalise. Geelong through Smith, get the ball back inside to Beardsville. He can't get away. Another pass there to Crombie. Kicked but tackled. Reese tries to get the ball for Winchelsea. He can't control it. Players going in very hard. The umpire has got no choice there. And we're going to have a ball up. It's just inside the 50-metre arc. East in attack. They're currently leading 1 behind 2-0. And we're coming up to 3 minutes in the Fairhaven Homes first quarter.
Ball from the contest is tapped down, picked up then, cleared away this time by Parrish, who brings the ball out back towards his half-back position. Numbers running there with East Geelong, picked up by King. Little chip up over the top, looked like a good kick and was. And I think that's Watson Searle that's come out, and he has taken a mark. Forward pocket area. And he's about 30 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle. Another opportunity here for East Geelong. As he said, we think the breeze, they are kicking with the aid of a breeze. He comes in quickly and the ball goes right across the face. No, must have snuck in for another minor score. So both their key forwards with a minor score on the board, 2 behinds And we have gone 3.5 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard. The chip kick comes in short. Mark is taken out there, and Tav Sawney has the ball, decides to come to the broadcast side of the box. The kick wasn't great. Into the hands of Crosby and through. Kicked off the ground, or tried to knock off the ground there by Henry. And the ball has gone over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw in to take place in front of the scoreboard here at East Geelong.
Umpires today are Tim Callender, Jess Verticizzi and Peter Kennedy. So we've got a couple of good ones, boys.
So the ball thrown back in by the umpire again. McLennan front position. Ball comes back to the front of the contest. Sawney couldn't pick it up. McLennan did. Got the handball over the top. And again, they run from defence, and that's also Parrish that brings the ball out again. Comes out towards the centre wing. Picked up out there, this time by Tom Henry. Kick goes long into their forward line, but East Geelong strong in defence. Marcus taken out there, and Helmore it is who will settle things down for East Geelong. Smith looks like the longer option, goes towards Gordon Mars, and that's not a good kick, so the ball's gone straight over the boundary line.
I should have took a one-hander then, as it nearly landed in my hand.
So Tommy Henry will be the recipient of the free kick. So Henry now, little short kick, goes in short. Sawney comes up, takes the mark. He goes short again. That's all to Parrish. Parrish further to Reese, and he's off, goes across the ground. Good looking kick, nice weight. Mark will be taken out there, and Kirstup Cole goes quickly. They move the ball quickly. Unfortunately, that kick wasn't as good.
Too quick.
And into the hands of Alistair Mars this time. He comes across the ground, went looking for his teammate there, and McIntyre. Kick out a bit too much on it. Ball's gone over the boundary line. We're going to have another throw in. 5 minutes gone, first quarter. It is East Geelong 2 straight behinds. Winchelsea are yet to score.
Yeah, talking about Kirstup Cole this morning. His football now still learning, and that example there of that wasted opportunity going in forward, and on a day like this the Winch won't be able to waste too many, so the players Eagle is setting himself a kick behind play, so it'll be Henry and McLennan gets it down to the front. Stevenson for Winchelsea gets it off the ground, gets it forward, but it's East Geelong coming out of the back through McDonald. Kick across into the danger spot, coming through out of the ball there, cross to Gordon Amas, the coach of the club. He kicks across his body to the half-back flank, and Lemper runs onto the ball. Hand passes across to a teammate there in Spicer. His hand pass is immediately smothered. Ball falls on the ground. Players jumped on top of it. I think the umpire is going to have to ball it up. We're on the clubroom side of the ground. That's true centre position.
He had a good season last year, Ryan Lemper, too, from memory. He was a pretty good player last year.
And he started off well. He's been in their best players most weeks this year. Yeah, McLennan gets right over the top of Eagle. Doesn't get an effective tap down. McIntyre lays a tackle there on Reese. The ball going nowhere. Wobbles out the back of the pack. Umpire's blown the whistle. He's found a free kick, and it's going to go to Winchelsea. And a good chance through Stevenson to go into the forward line. That's a poor kick, though, and intercepted. And East right on the 50-metre arc now. We'll load up again. It was McDonald again coming out of the defence for the East Geelong side. Gets it across the far side. That's Dowsett has the ball. Long kick from him, centre wing. Players punching from the back of the pack away from Fanning. But the ball comes to East Geelong's advantage. Quick kick looking for the leading Watson Searle, but it's beaten him and his opponent Walsh over the boundary line. In the forward pocket, it'll be just inside the 50-metre mark, right in front of the East Geelong social area. And we're waiting for the ball to be thrown back into play. Eagle and McLennan again. Players coming in to meet the ball. Eagle over the back, very nice left-hand handball down to Stevenson. He can't break clear of the pack. It's Reese who comes in. He's the last man up. The umpire will be forced to ball it up.
Do I put a stat in the handball column there?
Yeah, you could. It was actually a tap out, of course. Very, very well picked out by Grubby. Ball's slapped forward. Watson Searle was briefly held. The umpire didn't notice. Ball over the back of the pack. And over the boundary line, the forward pocket. And Dale, you and I are going to have trouble with that netball court whistle and the football whistle sounding very, very similar.
We're probably the side at Cadia Park soon, so we'll get all the whole barrel, lock, stock and barrel. So the ball thrown back in by the umpire. It's about 20 metres out from the goals at East Geelong's end. Hazard tapes the ball off. This is the young bloke that's in the side. Was pretty impressive in their twos last year, getting an opportunity at senior level. So the free kick has gone to Winchelsea. I didn't see what it was for.
Who was that?
Hazard.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So ball now comes out towards Copeland, leads in the race for the ball. Good clean pick up, handballs back inside. And again, they try to run the ball through Kendall. His kick was smothered. Balls are collected there by East Geelong. They go back into their forward line. Spicer has it, looked up, went short into the pocket. That's a nice wide kick. Mark has been taken out there. So East Geelong with an opportunity again. They go quickly now. He plays on. Cord Mars kicks round the body, as they do in the big time. And he has finished that off nicely, Tom. Mars. He has kicked their first goal. They move to 1-2. They lead Winchelsea, who are yet to score. Almost 9 minutes gone. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
He's a bit smarter, wasn't he, Mars? On a windy day where it's a bit blustery, you kick the ball on the point with a drop punt. You don't get the meat of the footy. But as a few of these league footballers are doing, as you said, he's gone and kicked the meat of the ball. Don't worry about the wind. Don't worry about nothing. I'm the coach. I'll show you how to kick him. And he's kicked their first goal. And it was good football by them too. And just before, I know they kicked the point before, that pass by young King, you can't get a better pass than that. He marked it just above the ground, Watson Searle. It was a magnificent kick. So I'll be keeping my eye on him because that's great field kicking.
So McLennan goes up into the ruck. It's Gould who's in there with him now. McLennan gets it down. Stevenson comes through from Winch, crashes into his own man. Reese gets it out. Quick hand pass across to Indy Parish. Ball comes across onto the centre wing there for East Geelong, and that's Mulville. He gets it in a neat little left foot pass. Just can't quite get Spicer. He's going to win himself a free kick, though. It was a very poor effort by Walsh to get rid of the ball. Quickly playing on, Mulville kicks into the forward line, punched away by Bordavalis, but coming onto the ball for East Geelong is Beardsall, and he kicks a goal across his body. That's their second for the afternoon. They've gone to 2-14. Winchelsea not yet off the mark. We've just gone 10 minutes into the Fairhaven Homes first quarter, Grubby.
Yeah, they do this, East Geelong. All of a sudden they get a bit of a move and they go bang, bang, bang. And that's what Winchelsea have got to stop now. I know it's early in the game, and I know coaches and teams don't like to do it, but I think you've got to go a little bit defensive with that wind and the way East are playing. Just scramble it up a little bit. Just try to absorb the damage and then have a real good go at it when you've got the wind later on. But you don't want to get to quarter time, 5 or 6 down, because then you're chasing bums all day.
Is this Jack Beardsall? He's related to the Baker Bannockburn, didn't he?
I would imagine.
I would have thought so. Ball back in the middle of the ground. This time Ruckman going up Malone. He's doing the ruck work now. Lemper emerges with the ball. Handballs off to Mars. He runs towards centre wing. Kicks low into the forward line. Coming out, Ezard. Didn't take the ball. Picked up by Sawney. He's tackled high, maybe, I thought. Yes, the umpire said that. And free kick will go to Tab Sawney. So he goes quickly. Short, nice flat kick. Good kick into the middle of the ground. Picked up there by Gould. Got the handle away. Sawney continues to run. Kick goes forward once again. Parrish tried to run onto it. Coming the other way. Picked up. I think that was McLennan. It was. He's done that nicely, the big fella. Back in the hands of Mars. Handballs out the back. And they run the ball from the half back line. So East Geelong with some numbers around the contest. Short kick outside to the wing. Marcus taken out there. And that is Dowsett. So Dowsett doesn't wait any time at all. He goes straight back into the half forward line. Looking towards Smith. Ball bounces in his favour. Picks the ball up. Handballs goes over the top. A nice bit of work there. Andrew runs onto it. His chip goes looking to Watson Searle. Had to be a mark and or free kick. And it's going to be the whole lot. Budavalis infringing there. So it'll be Zach Smith this time to go back and kick for goal.
Well, he's already had a kick from
Watson
there.
Searle, I should say.
Yeah, he's already had a kick from there, so he should be able to judge it a little bit better this time, I would have thought. That bloke that you missed a couple of times, he's had a few touches. Skate. Jay Skate.
Thank you. That's
Where does he come from?
No, they can't tell you that either.
Yeah.
So that's a quick look at the goals. And
hang
I
on.
think he's
It's a
got
goal,
it this time.
I think.
Umpire says, yes, it is all clear. And that is his first of the afternoon. Third now for East Geelong. They are 3-2. Winchelsea are yet to score. 12 and a half minutes gone. Fairhaven Homes. First quarter scoreboard.
Again, it doesn't matter what you do. If you get a kick like that in the forward line, you're going to mark it. They're just spot on with their field kicking at the moment. I know it's a bit easier sometimes when you've got the win, but I tell you what, the damage is increasing here. And Winchelsea, the only times they've got it into their forward line, the East Geelong defence have just been far too good with the help of Winchelsea because they haven't been kicking it too well into the forward line when they do. Now, I think they've got to try and jag a couple against the wind.
Well, it's Maloney for Winch into the ruck, not Gould as I called earlier. McLennan gets the ball out of the pack, hand passes, but just misses a little bit, allows Winchelsea defenders to pounce on it, which they've done again. The umpire will have to ball it up, not going anywhere. Just on the edge of the cricket pitch area here, at Auswide. Plumbing and Civil Oval, East Geelong. Maloney and McLennan again. McLennan hand passes neat. He taps neatly down, but Reese intercepts. Quick kick forward, but Mars takes an intercepting mask for East Geelong. Gets it across to the wing where Mulville takes a very good mark. His neat little left foot pass finds McIntyre who's made position just between wing and half forward. McIntyre left foot's into the pocket. A beautiful pass to the leading Watson Searle, and he's taken the mark about 45 metres. He'll kick from. The wind will be tricky. It'll be going right to left.
And he's a left footer, isn't he?
He's a left footer, so he's going to have to aim at the right goal post.
Yeah, this is a very, very tough kick.
Kicks now from about 45. It's a horrible looking thing off the boot. Wobbles into the forward line and coming out, taking a mark easy for Winchelsea defence. There, I think it was Walsh. He gets it across to Sawney, who's already had about 8 or 9 disposals. He's been very, very busy in the first quarter. Back across to Finn Parrish. A neat pass from him into the middle of the ground. Finds his brother. Hand passes quickly inside to Reese. Reese to a runner there. Kicks it long down looking for Gould. Gould comes out. Can't quite win the ball. Tries to pick it up on the way through, but the umpire says not going anywhere.
Well, at least that was a better kick into the forward line. It gave the Winchelsea forward a chance at least. Not like the last couple.
Quite true. McLennan in the ruck again. Gets it down, but coming through very hard for the Blues there is Rouget. Nice little French touch into the forward line. Sam King, sorry, yes it is. He gets a ball to McIntyre, who's been busy again. That neat little pass of his, but it's intercepted this time by a Winchelsea defence there in Luke Henry, a new player to the Cub. Parrish, Finn Parrish has got the ball. He's racking up numbers again to Sawney, who, as I mentioned before, has got good numbers already for the Blues. So Sawney now, stabbing little pass, goes forward and finds Henry. This time Tom, who's been at the club for quite some time, lured his brother out this year. So Tom Henry now kicks a long drop punt. Wind takes it slightly to the right and punched over the boundary line. She'll have a throw in. Only a metre from the boundary line post. Winchelsea trailing 20-0 at this particular stage. We're up at the 15-minute mark of the Fairhaven home first quarter. Waiting for the ball to come back in. McLennan's worked all the way down the ground. He'll take this ruck out contest with Cody Eagle, the younger brother of the ruckman. Umpire has deemed no, he's going to wait. Yes, it's a ball up now. So still only about 20 or 30 metres out from Winch's goal. Desperately trying to get a goal to keep themselves in the game. So it's Eagle again. McLennan up high. A beautiful little tap down to McIntyre. We've seen that a lot over the years, and his kick down the line is superb and finds Scott. Finds Izard. We've talked about him. His early season form has been very good. So Izard kicks now. Very, very close to the boundary line. In fact, all the way over, right in front of us. Grubby nearly got his second stat for the day.
I'll tell you what.
Getting very, very close.
Well, if Tavu Sawney's had 11, I've had 6 then.
That is a kick from Finn Parrish. Lands just inside the boundary line, looking at the lead from Henry. But over the boundary line. Throw in here. And this has been a very eventful first quarter on the scoreboard, mainly for East. Winch is certainly competitive. They're winning enough of the ball. It's just that last kick into the forward line, which I'm sure Grubby will talk about at quarter time, is letting them down. So the umpire just waiting for the ball to come back out of the crowd, and he'll throw the ball in. McLennan and Eagle this time in the ruck work. McLennan gets front position, wins the ball himself, gets it down to Andrew. He can't break through. Comes out. It's a very strong effort. Back to McLennan. Cross to Fanning. It's a horrible kick off the boot from Fanning. Straight over the boundary line. On the bounce. Another throw in directly in front of our commentary box here. It's 20-0. We're currently 17.5 minutes into the Fairhaven Homes first quarter.
So umpire with the ball now to be able to restart play.
Very young fella too.
Right on centre wing. Ball thrown back in by the umpire. Again, front position. McLennan comes down to McIntyre. Weaved his way through. Got the handball over the top. Didn't go to anyone in particular, but they've made able to merge with the ball. Went back to McIntyre at ground level. Tried to feed the ball out. Putting his head over the ball was Stevenson. Thought he put his head down
Yeah,
then.
so
and
did I.
was,
I might have called that play on, but
yeah,
that's fair
pretty
enough.
much. So
Fair
it's
enough,
Stevenson there with the free kick. So Stevenson now just on defensive side of centre wing. Little short kick in the middle. Have Sawney comes up and again takes the ball. Handball goes back to Stevenson. Has to go for the longer option this time. Goes back towards centre wing. Crombie lets the ball get over the top. Henry couldn't trap it and the ball goes back over the boundary line. That will be thrown in that position. So a good match up there for that Jay Skate playing on Henry. Ball thrown back in now by the umpire once again. Again, the ruckman go at it. Ball goes back into their forward line. We're talking about Winchelsea's forward line, but Crombie is there. Maybe a new role this year, not playing in their forward line. Ball gets back towards centre wing, coming out. Beardshill, that was a great pickup on the left. He's going to go left, decide to go back on the right. No, back on the left again he goes and kicks into the forward line. Ezard going back with the flight of the ball. Spoil from behind. Ball hits the boundary line and will go over his doubts. It was quickly onto it. And we're going to have another throw-in that'll take place just on the forward 50.
Jeez, you called that right.
Geelong.
You called that right. That was a magnificent pickup. Very rarely do you see class like that. That was a beautiful pickup.
So ball now thrown back in by the umpire, and again front position taken out there, this time by Maloney. Couldn't get a clear kick away from the contest, but again East Geelong now pick up, go back into their forward line through Hoare, I should say. Ball out the back, goes to Lemsel. He now is tackled, and without prior opportunity there, he's going to be called to give the ball back to the umpire.
It's always a good idea to keep your eye on the footy, though. Don't worry about what's coming at you. Go for the footy, son.
So the ball now from that ruck contest again. Ezra did the ruck work. Ball comes out the back, picked up out there. Tried to get out with Spicer. That was incorrect disposal from a good tackle. And free kick is going to go to, I'm not too sure, is that Cook? Cook, is it? Okay, so he goes short out wide. Mark taken this time by Henry. So Henry with the ball in there. Defensive end decides to transfer play across the ground. Will be okay. Budavala's back in the goal square. Has an option further afield. Will use him now. Kick had to be good. Wasn't. Ezard's been able to intercept. Looks up. Goes short. Watson Searle marks and will go back. And he will be able to shoot for his second goal of the quarter. A little bit closer than where he was the last time. But he's had 3 shots now from this position. Has one. Or this will be his third. Left footer. Doesn't take too much time over the ball. Kicks that goal. This time he goes right across. He's got one of each now. 1 goal, 1 point, and 1 out of bounds in the full.
I think that might have been young Thomas Rouget. Took that.
It was actually,
back, yeah.
upon reflection.
No, upon looking at his number and looking at the team list, you idiot.
So it's going to be Freeman that's going to have the free kick from the back pocket position. So Freeman now decides to come straight up the ground and go long out of defence. Good kick. Ball gets out the back. Mark not taken there. So McLennan just taps the ball back inside 50. Picked up by Parrish. He goes back towards centre wing, front position. Good ball from behind. East Geelong defensive work has been excellent. Ball comes out into the hands there of McDonald. He looks up, goes into their forward line. Lemper reads the ball nicely, picks the ball up, got the handball away. But unfortunately, ball goes back over the boundary line. We're going to have another throw-in to take place. 21.5 gone. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard sees East Geelong at 3 goals 2. Winchelsea are yet to score.
So waiting for the throw-in. McLennan's worked forward with the younger of the... no, it's Maloney that's with him now. Comes over the back of the pack. Lemper can't control it. Beardshill, who's been very busy and classy in this first quarter, kicks forward, and Jaden Fanning comes out and takes a very strong mark. He's also another East Geelong player who started the year off very well, named his club's best player on 2 of the 4 games this season. So he's in pretty good touch, and he'll have a shot for goal from about 40 metres out directly in front, or even less, from probably 35 he'll kick from.
If he goes back any further, he will be kicking for 50.
He's almost back in the centre of the ground now, a very, very long run-up. So Jaden Fanning coming in now. Ball leaves the foot. It's pretty straight. The goal umpire's only had a wobble. It's right through the middle. There, fourth for the afternoon. 4-2-26. Winchelsea still have not troubled the scorers. 22.5 minutes into the Fairhaven Homes first quarter, Grubby.
Well, I'll tell you what, he can go back all the way to Cardinia Park if he's going to kick the ball like that, because that was a beautiful kick. It's real hard to kick the ball dead straight like that on a day where it's very blustery, and he put it straight through the middle. And I tell you, and he's very versatile. I think McLennan didn't play a game, was it last year or the year before, when he got best on the ground in the ruck. So very nice to have this bloke. He can go down back, forward, kick a ball like that and play in the ruck. Very handy.
Aniki have jumped Inverleigh 2-2 to 1-4. McLennan can't get a hand to Maloney, who gets the ball. Stevenson's first there. He trips over at the vital time. Kersop Cole overruns the ball. East Geelong desperately in there trying to win the ball. It comes out the back of the pack. McIntyre's got it only for a second, taken out of his grasp. No one's going anywhere. Quick kick out of the pack by Cook. Goes past Indy Parish, comes out to Maloney, who's followed through from the ruck contest. He kicks up looking for Gould. Two defenders punch the ball away from him. And the ball has been run over the boundary line there. It was Lee, one of those two East Geelong defenders, has forced the ball over the line. So about 20 metres round from the behind post, waiting for the ball to come back into play.
They haven't been able to trap it in their forward line. They've got to do that now.
So Eagle and McLennan over the back of the pack. Clever little hand pass there. King's got thrown out of the pack then. A quick kick across the body for Winch back into the hot spot. But first to recover is East Geelong. Quick kick off the ground, but Kersop Cole tries to get it forward. Bit of inexperience there. Forced that balling he had a little bit more time than that. But eventually it's got in and been hand passed through by the East Geelong defenders. And Winchelsea have hit the scoreboard for the first time. A rush behind. They're one behind. And East Geelong are 4-2-26. And we're coming up to the 25-minute mark of this Fairhaven Homes first quarter.
I know it's a hard decision to pay, but I reckon that was a sling tackle. I really do.
There's a merit in it. They've got to stop them as much as possible. Cordner Mars, neat little kick into the middle of the ground, but it didn't hit anyone. Zedekai Copeland kicks the ball, handpulls the ball out wide. Maloney comes through, kicks forward, and coming out on the lead is Gould. And Winch are going to have their first serious look at a goal for the afternoon. Gould's taken a mark on the chest. He's feigned to kick short there, but just decided to go back. This will be a very difficult kick. He's almost kicking into the teeth of the wind.
He couldn't have kicked past that anyway because the umpire was lining him up, so he would have brought him back no matter what.
So Jordan Searle, we've heard a lot of positive things about. Jordan Gould, I should say. So he going back now. Ball leaves the foot. A nice little drop punt, but the umpire runs to his left. It's faded away, one behind only. They're second for the afternoon. They're now trailing 26-2, and we're coming up to 25 and a half minutes into this Fairhaven Homes first quarter. Dale, see if you can get Winch a goal.
It's going to be a little bit difficult now. The little bit of precipitation just easing its way across the ground.
Mars goes,
just a little bit of a ball goes over the boundary line. We're going to throw in just in front of the Winchelsea coaching box out there on the far side of the ground.
What did you have for lunch? Hot dog and a dictionary.
And had the sauce, don't forget the sauce. The ball come to the contest, ball is tackled, player is tackled this time. Ball comes to ground and umpire will come in quickly, take possession. Similar to where we had that last ball in. Umpire doing some work over there. Ball is up in the air. McLennan this time gets the ball out, goes back towards Sawney. He picks the ball up, eludes one, puts down the ground, goes into the forward line quickly.
Down the ground, I think.
Umpire says yes, he has played it, so it's going to be a free kick in the forward pocket. And it will go to Indiana Parish. Don't know whether he's a goal kicker, but he's playing forward, so I'm assuming he is. And from that position, another one around the corner, I would suggest. Just wiping the ball. So Parish now from the forward pocket. A much-needed goal here for Winchelsea late in this first quarter. Plays on now, runs round, kicks round the body, brings it back but won't bring it anywhere far enough. And the ball has gone out of bounds on the full. So it's going to be a free kick to the East Geelong side. Going back to take it this time will be Fanning. So Fanning now, he decides to go across the face of goal. Kick will be okay just. Mark is taken out there. And it's by Helmore. He goes quickly around the boundary line. Goes outside 50. Ball. Mark not taken. Back inside. Mars has the ball. He picks the ball up. Got the handball away. As far as King. Little chip over the top of the game. And Dowsett presents up. Takes the mark. So centre wing. He goes back inside looking for Lemper. Went over the top of his head. Ooh. Players run over the ball. Picked up by McLennan. Good handball out to Mulville. And picked up there again. Coming through was Fanning. But he dropped the ball. Might be getting a little bit slippery out there. Mulville got the ball back, went to Lemper. Lemper handball back inside, put his coach under pressure, got under one, and he's been able to put the ball out wide into the trail of McDonald. McDonald, he also picks up. He decides just to blaze it long down the forward line. Mark almost taken there by Ezzard. Ball comes down to the ground, and again now at the contest needs to be won. Handball comes out the back. It's done so nicely. Goes outside to Parrish. He puts the ball back over centre wing. Again, it was going to be sitting there, and a player taken out there is Cook. He is tackled without any chance of getting rid of it. Umpire will come in and take possession. So in between centre wing and half forward.
They missed a trick there, East. They had a Beardsall out in his own. He had a paddock too. They couldn't get it to him.
So the ball now back with the ruck contest. We'll try to kick off the ground there. I think that might have been Maloney that tried to put boot to ball. And again, the ball is not coming out, so we're going to have another throw in or ball up, which will take place. So again, the ruckman go. McLennan's doing some ruck work. Actually, I don't know whether the Winchelsea ruckman there and Maloney actually jumped at the ball, just jumped into the player. Comes out now, ball is cleared away. So again, I think that was Skate that got the ball towards centre wing. Spoiler's been put on over there on the far side of the ground, this time in front of the East Geelong coaching box. And we'll have a throw in on true centre wing, far side of the ground. So we've gone 29 minutes. And Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard reads 4-2 to East Geelong. Winchelsea are 2 solitary behinds.
McLennan gets a big piece of that, gets it to Andrew. Out the back of the pack, Mulville tries to hand pass back towards King. Misses him, but he's going to win a free kick for a high tackle. The umpires held things up again, and it's going to be a 50-metre penalty. I think someone might have gobbed off a bit, actually, the way the umpire ran in. I don't think anyone came into the wrong air, but Mulville's got the neat little left foot, and he's kicked it right across the ground and found Mars on his own. Kersop Cole gives him a little bit of attention, which Mars plays up on, but didn't trick the umpire, looking for a 50. So Ali Mars now low pass into the forward line and has found Zach Smith all on his own, just inside the 50-metre arc, and he'll have a shot for goal after the quarter-time siren. His side is currently 4-2-26, Winchelsea 2 behinds, and Zach Smith will kick from about 49.5 metres out, I reckon. He's normally a beautiful kicker. There's certainly some concerns about his effort sometimes, but once he's got hold of the ball, there's not too many better kicks for goal in the competition than Zach Smith. And he's coming in now, very deliberately, leaves the boot. It's a lovely looking drop punt. The umpire moving away to the right, 1 behind only. So the quarter finishes at East Geelong 4-3-27. Winchelsea 2 points. Goal kickers Dale Smith.
Yes, all individuals, and they are for East Geelong. Beardsall, Cordamars, Ezzard and Watson Sewell. Winchelsea are yet to score a goal. As we said, it's 4-3 to 2 solitary behinds. We're going to take a short break, come back shortly and go through everything that's happened here up till quarter time. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
And civil oval at East Geelong, where the home side are leading 27-2 against Winchelsea. And Grubby, there's just a little gap in class, isn't there?
Well, yes, you would think so at the minute, but let's hang on a minute. Let's just give this other mob a chance with the wind. You know, like they've come out, East Geelong, they've had the wind, they mucked around with it a little bit earlier, then they went bang, 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 kicked some goals, and then didn't kick any towards the end. So, you know, Winchelsea hung on a little bit. Unfortunately for them, they only had probably real shots for goal, maybe even one shot for goal in the whole quarter, because East did dominate. The thing is, when they did get it up to their four-line winch, their East back line just dominated. They brought it straight out. They didn't have the opportunity to hold it in. They were just too good in that quarter. But, as I say, the wind, look, hang on a minute, it's going the other way now. East might have it in the second quarter as well. But it's very, very blustery. Still hard to kick goals, but give Winch a chance with this win before you write them off, because you've already written them off, Rob, and I don't reckon it's too early to write them off. We'll give them 15 minutes and see how they go. But you're right in the general play. East are well on top and probably could be a little bit further in front, probably should be. But you know how a funny game football is, and they can get a couple of run on with a goal or two and then three, and all of a sudden they're back in the game. But I just looking through their side, Beardsall had a pretty good quarter. Benny Crombie. I haven't seen much of Billy Andrew. He's playing, isn't he, Billy?
He's playing.
I think he got our best on the ground last time we were here, so he's a little bit down. The two Masters are very, very good players. Skate had a bit of the ball. Dowsett, Ezard. The forwards look dangerous. Haven't kicked the bag yet, but they look pretty dangerous in Watson, Searle, and Zach Smith. So, you know, you could go through their side and pick out 10 or 12 good players. With the Winchelsea side, well, funny thing enough, the best man on the ground is playing for the side that's getting beat at the moment, because Tavu Sawney's definitely the best player on the ground. Yes. There's no doubt in my mind that, but he just haven't had enough mates. You know, like the big bloke's trying pretty hard in the ruck. He lacks a bit of height. He doesn't lack a bit of girth, I can tell you. He's a big fella. I wouldn't like him to run through me, I can tell you. Parish boys need a bit more. The Henry boys are going okay, but they just haven't got enough good players like East Geelong have. And that's why, not just because of the wind, they're trailing reasonably badly at quarter time.
Just go around the ground while we've got the system working. Anarchy have kicked 2 goals 3. Inverleigh have kicked 1 goal 5. So the bottom side troubling the much heralded Hawks again. Belmont have snuck away from North Geelong a little bit, 2-7. North Geelong have kicked, 27, 4 goals 3. North Geelong have kicked 1-7 in the first quarter. Belpost Hill have got away from Bannockburn. They're 6-4 at quarter time. Bannockburn are only 1-5, and I imagine there'd be a bit of wind advantage up there at Belpost Hill.
Yeah,
normally.
Maybe, but what's the score again?
6-4 to 1-5.
So it's still 10 shots to 6.
Yeah.
So it's not much in shots.
And Corio have jumped Geelong West. They're 4-3, Geelong West 3-1. And, of course, our game here, East Geelong 4-3-27. Winchelsea a 2. Oh, no, we did miss one. Werribee a 2-2-14, Thompson 3-3-21. So that's a close game there, and I imagine the way the wind is blowing, that would be favouring one particular end at Galvin Park. So Thompson may or may not have that. But this is all set up for a great game. I really hope Winch can take advantage of what looks like the scoring end this quarter. But yeah, I haven't given up on them, Grubby, but there's a bit of a gap.
Yeah, there is, but sometimes it looks like that when you got the win. I still want to see. I just still want to see another 15 minutes of really good Winchelsea footy to see how they go.
Players are getting into position to start this quarter. There doesn't appear to be any injuries at this stage. Both benches are all up and about and bouncing around. We hate to see injuries, but geez, on a day like this, you don't want to be off the ground for too long and those joints start to freeze up. It's hard to get going again.
Yeah, especially in here too.
Ooh, very much so. This westerly wind blowing straight into our faces here in the box, so everyone rugged up to the max. So second quarter underway.
KO, if you're listening, send over a couple of big bowl of soup or something, mate, will you?
It's the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter here. Dale Smith, get us under action.
So we're going to have the same ruckman as we did in the first quarter. McLennan's doing it for East, and Eagle Jaden doing it for Winchelsea. As I said, it's Umpire with ball in hand, siren has sounded, so second quarter is underway. Ball over the top, actually comes down. Again, the clearance from the centre. Eagles on hands and knees, gets the ball out, goes to Sawney. Couldn't get it the first time, has support in Reese now, and he goes back into their forward line. Good quick movement into the forward line, but again, the East Geelong defence has worked out okay there. Ball goes back into the hands of Lee, goes sideways, went looking towards Lemper. He left the ball behind, picked up by Parrish. Banana from the boundary line. He will bring it back, but not anywhere near it should be. And through for a minor score. They move now to 3 behinds Winchelsea.
Aren't you cold, mate?
4 goals, 3 to East Geelong. Grubby just having a conversation with the boundary umpire.
Lovely young kid.
Not even shivering, Grubby. It's just normal, mate, for him. So it's Mars that brings the ball back in from the defensive end. Ball comes down in front of the contest. Picked up by Parrish quickly into the forward line. Going kick wasn't well directed. Mark has been taken out there by Helmore. He puts the ball back towards the club rim side. One-handed mark out there. Maybe Lemper, is it?
Lee, I think.
Goes short towards the middle of the ground. Centre wing, I should say. Mark is taken out there by Lee. So now he's got some options outside. Lemper running past. Handball's not given. Little chip again over the top. This time they have the ball on Sue's centre wing now. A player is called to play on. Handball goes back towards Lemper. Got the ball back inside. Fanning over the top. They continue to run. Oh, not too much awareness there. And player in Hoff, was tackled and incorrect disposal. Free kick is going to go to the Winchelsea side. I think that's Walsh out there. Gives the ball back to Sawney. Sawney delivers the ball wide. Running player. Curse up Cole. He's got the ball in front of himself. Needs to pick the ball up. Has a little bit of time. Looked inside. Where he's going, but he's turned the ball straight over. Mark has been taken out there. I think this might be King. He's been pretty good in the first quarter. Uses the ball very nicely. So he just decides to go short. McIntyre is his target. Gets to him. Mark is taken. He goes back inside. This time to Mars again. So Alistair Mars it is. Goes across the ground. Mark's out there. They continue to play on. Helmore got the ball further afield. They continue from the half-back line into the hands of Lemper with a handball. He takes him on. Got a bit of dash there too. Got out of trouble. Thought he put himself back into trouble. Got the handball away. Put his teammate under some bit of pressure. They continue to run the ball down the far side. Beards will pick the ball up. Gets out of trouble again and puts it on the left boot. Goes towards the forward line. Kick is wide and very wide. Ball goes over the bounce on the full. Free kick going to Winchelsea.
I'm not kidding. The wind's dropped.
Yeah, flags.
The wind has dropped.
So Sawney now, short kick. Mark taken. Kendall. Still defensive side of centre wing. He just slows things down now and he's looking for his options going right down the line. Henry's going to be the target, but in front Fanning. Good strong mark in front. So now steadies things down for East Geelong. Player at the back was Andrew, but he ignores him. He's asked to play on now by the umpire, so he kicks back long, back towards centre wing. Ball holds up a little bit over the top. Mark is not taken. Front of the contest, picked up by Reese. Got the handball away. Stevenson looked to get the handball outside, taken away by Crombie though. Kicks back into their forward line. The only player back there is Walsh. Got some space and some time. Got the handball away. Budavalis on the overlap. Ball goes back towards centre wing. Lemper up over the top, brings ball to ground. Kicked off the ground. That was nicely done. Winchelsea, I'm not sure who the player was, but they worked the ball very nicely through to Kendall. Kendall goes back into their forward line. Out the back, picked up out there by Gould. Gould needs some assistance. Got the handball away. Went to the hands there of Parrish. He picked it up, but he put it down just as quickly. Free kick goes to King of East Geelong. So he transfers play back to the club room side of the ground, and Lemper again in some space out there by himself. Got an option inside, uses him now. Mark is taken out there. Hoff comes across the ground, back towards Fanning. Good interception there, so they turn the ball over with Ellis. Ellis got the handball away, goes further afield. Long kick forward there by Parrish. Open goal square. How will it bounce? It will bounce. Truly. I think they have their first. Yes, they do. And that was Finley Parrish that kicks their first goal. They are 1-3. East Geelong 4-3. 4 minutes gone. Second quarter. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
Well, went over him. It bounced and bounced, but it got there. But I just want to pick you up in the call earlier when you said that the Winchelsea bloke slowed the ball down. The way they structure their defence, East Geelong, you cannot slow the ball down because they'll kid you every time. And yet as soon as they go in quick, they get a goal. So they've got to keep the ball moving. You slow it down and go into your forward slow, and East Geelong will turn you back every single time.
Back in the middle of the ground now, Maloney and McLennan. McLennan cleverly over the top. Magnificent ruck work to McIntyre on the move. He's kicked forward, but coming out and taking a march in defence for Winchelsea is Freeman.
Oh,
he kicks across, misses his target in Reese. Cordon Mask comes through, hand passes nicely to McIntyre, but he's tackled immediately. That player bumped when he should have tackled. Lemp has got the ball. He's thrown it away, and it's a great tackle by young Kersop Coles. Got advantage. Neat little pass down, looking for Henry. Drops his eyes. Fanning pushes him late. And Henry will take a free kick right on centre wing for the Blues. They're looking for some options. They've got a bit of confidence now. That is a 50-metre penalty has been paid as well. I'm not quite sure whether Jaden Fanning was arguing. It's not really 50, but it's an advantage of some sort. So Henry now looking for options. He's getting very close to the man on the mark. Play on now, and that's exactly what happens. He's kicked it into the man on the mark. Kersop Cole comes forward, hand passes inside to Stevenson. He gets it across to Henry. Henry back to Maloney. Quick kick across his body into the hot spot. No player can mark. Ball hits the ground. Winch come out first there. Clever little hand pass out. Releases Kendall. He kicks across his body. Helmore can't hold the mark. It's players in there battling. It's Gould trying to get the ball out. The umpire's got no choice but to ball it up. But Winchelsea certainly have lifted in the last few minutes, attacking again.
Well, they have.
They're 1-3-9. East Geelong are 4-2-27.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kersop Cole, and he probably is going to be a good player. But he's got to stop giving them hospital handballs because he's going to get someone hurt.
He is indeed. That was a bad one. Tackle, that's Gordon Mars can't get away there. Tackle again. The umpire said that is no. He's the one a little further away. One was coming in to ball it up. The one closer said you've got a high tackle, Indy Parish, and he's going to go back and have a shot for goal. It'll be his second. He had a very poor attempt at kicking across his body in the first quarter, but on this occasion, he'll be kicking a long drop punt, 40 metres out, tight angle, club room side. But a very important kick for his club. With the wind dropped, he can confidently just go straight back and kick through the ball.
Back to 10 points of difference out of Bellpost Hill.
So Parrish now close to the man on the mark, runs around, kicks across the body. Paulie out of bounds on the full. Again, trying to find distance, which he didn't really need to do because he kicked it easily to cover the distance, but he's given the ball back to East Geelong.
Given the ball back. He's nearly hit the goal attack in the back of the head.
So Fanning has the ball, back pocket for East Geelong. He's got players loose on the opposite side of the ground, but he's decided to kick down the line, and it's a long drop punt punched over the back of the pack. Winch trying to get through. They're attacking the ball, but it's a very clever effort there by Lee. Back to McLennan. Oh, Spicer, sorry, back to McLennan. But Winchelsea desperately intercept that, knock the ball over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. Right in front of the East Geelong faithful here in the rooms. They'll be enjoying being inside there rather than outside, and there's very, very cold conditions. As the limp flag gets into action again, the wind starts to pick up. McLennan very cleverly taps it to himself, can't break away. Coming through there is Spicer for East Geelong. Goes to hand pass, but he didn't. It was a throw. Winchelsea take the advantage, which isn't really because they've kicked it straight out of the full. That was a really poor effort by Kendall. Probably should have just waited and had a shot for goal, but they've taken the advantage and made a meal of it. So back in the back pocket. Kick down our side of the ground this time. Fanning can't hold the ball, evades a tackle, gets it across to Crombie. Crombie quickly kicks forward. Dowsett's going to be first there. Hand on the ball, but over the boundary line. And a throw in.
I'll tell you now, over 4 quarters of football here at East, they're not going to give you a lot of opportunity. So you've got to start taking the ones you get, because if they don't take the ones they get, Winchelsea, they cannot win.
So ball now thrown back in by the umpire. McLennan trying to put his opponent under the ball. Andrews had it, couldn't pick it up cleanly. Stevenson's there now. And Reese is also there. He got the ball out, got the handball outside, goes towards Crombie. Picked the ball up, got the handball out the back to Mars. Mars has got a runner inside and outside. And they use the ball nicely, go back to their centre wing position. Andrew fended off the where the ball was going to land. Didn't take the mark. And umpire has come in quickly now and says, give the ball back to me. We're going to have a ball up to take place. And it's pretty much on centre wing. It's about 20 from where we sit here. Now there's a free kick. Free kick will come back, and it's going to go to McLennan. So McLennan now has got the runner inside. Was going to use McIntyre, thought better of it.
Too close.
Crombie's come around the other side.
Right.
I'm not too sure. He said no 50, but I don't know whether he was talking about the player on the mark
Well, it
moving
was
or
his
not.
own player that ran into the 5 metre
Well,
zone.
that's what I thought. So it's Crombie with the ball now. He's on the attacking side of centre wing. He decides to go long. Got a bit of distance in there, so the wind has definitely dropped off. Ball hits the ground. Again, Winchelsea some numbers back there. Picked up by Rees. Goes on the left boot. Kick was smothered. Back to Ezard. Handballs back inside. Oh, Beardsley nearly
That's a
threw
throw.
that. Umpire saw that the way I did too.
Yeah.
And free kick will go to the defence of Winchelsea. And I think back there it's, I'm not too sure it was actually. Might have been, I couldn't tell you who it was. Ball now into the hands of Parrish. He's moved himself up the ground. Handball goes further afield into the hands of Kendall. Kendall runs, carries, was almost had, but the ball now goes back into their forward line, goes towards the centre wing and beyond. Picked up there, Maloney, got the handball away. I can hear whistles blowing,
There's
but
whistles blowing everywhere. They sounded too close for netball, so eventually the I don't know where it
I don't know what it was for. There must have been someone after the kick, was it?
had to be in a down the field to be there.
Yeah. So the ball with Maloney gives it off to Parrish. That's Indy Parrish. He goes into their forward line, and again, defensive mark taken out there. I think that's Lee who's got the ball, goes across the face of goal. Nice kick into the hands of Crombie. He seems to be playing, as I said, more of a midfielder role. Ball picked up there by McIntyre. He is pushed over the boundary line. Umpire called it that way. Umpire said there's a hold. Free kick is going to go to McIntyre just outside their defensive 50. Option short if he wants to use him. Not going to use it just at this stage. Looking back inside, goes there now. Again, back to Crombie. The mark has been taken. Slows things down. So Crombie again, not too sure where he wants to go with this ball. So he goes back in towards the top of the square. That's okay. Coming out, taking the mark and moving the ball on with Bartel. Goes across the ground. Again, they continue to run from that far side.
Down the
Lee
ground.
got the kick further down the field. Mark has been taken. This time I think it might be Lemper. And
That's
he
the
has
third time
got
he's
the
done
ball.
that bloke.
Kicked the ball short into the hands of Beardsley this time. So Beardsley again now decides to go and move the ball quickly. Low, flat kick into their forward line. Good kick into the hands of Cordemars. Looks up. Nice looking kick. Mark is going to be taken by Smith. And he will go back and shoot for goal. No breeze to contend with now. And probably a kick of about 40 to 45 metres directly in front. Has two behinds for the afternoon. So Zach Smith, a chance to put his first of the day on the board and get the lead back to where it was at quarter time. So he steps in now, kicks that goal, looks okay. Umpire says
Goal.
yes it is. And he has his first, as we said, the fifth now for East Geelong. They're 5-3. They lead Winchelsea on 1-3. Almost 30 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, I hate to say I'm right when I'm right, but they had plenty of opportunities. They had the ball in their forward line, and then each take it down, have one opportunity and kick a goal, which they really didn't need. Which they're playing well enough to maybe get a couple and get closer. But they were just too good East on that stage. They went down. The kicking, like Crombie. I love a kid he's only about 17 or 18. He kicks it across the ground in between two Winch players. He's confident that he can do it, and he can do it. That's why.
So we're in the middle. McLennan neatly down. Hand pass comes out. McIntyre wins it. Gets it across to Lemper. Lemper hand passes back to McIntyre. And McLennan, who's snuck away from the pack, has made a position at the point of the centre square. His pass into the forward line looking for Spicer and finds him. They're getting a bit of run again now. King comes out. He drops the ball. Allows Winch to come back in, but he's butted up. Tried to win it back for his team. Winch again, desperately trying to pick it up off the ground. The umpire has found a free kick and it's going East Geelong's way. And it looks like it's Spicer. Quick little kick from him. Finds Mulville on the half forward flank. He's a stabbing little pass, and Watson Searle on another strong lead. He's been doing that very well today. He'll be lining up for goal for his fourth attempt. He has one of each outcome so far. And he's deep in the forward pocket. Very tight angle, wrong side for his left foot, but no breeze will help him. Leaves the foot pretty well. A nice looking drop punt, but just fading a bit. The boundary umpire has called it out on the full.
And so is the goal umpire.
And so was the goal umpire. So we've got a free kick to Winchelsea, right beside the point post.
Don't think we made Shane out at Inverleith enjoying the football at the moment. He said it's pretty hard watching.
It's Finn Parrish has the ball for Winch. He's played pretty well today. Long drop punt from him. Maloney jumps hard at the pack. Mulville picks up the crumb. Out the back, quickly kicked the body, across the body by Lemper. Winch defender waiting for it. Tackled immediately. Ball bobbles out again. McIntyre's first there. He lets it run through to Bartel. Bartel across to King by
Down the
hand.
ground. He pushed him over after it.
Called downfield again.
There wasn't much in it, but he did it. And my worry here now is East Geelong kick 2 or 3 more in a row like they do, and we can go home at halftime because it'll be all over.
Roger, it was who just laid that subtle little indiscriminate tackle, and the ball's gone down, and Watson Searle will line up for goal again. 2 out in the fulls, 1 goal, 1. This one leaves the foot helicopter-ish, but straight, there. And it's right through the middle. His second for the afternoon. So 2-1 he's had from 5 shots at goal, and we're not even up to half-time. East Geelong 33, Winchelsea 9, and we've gone 16 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
Look, it's pretty basic. If you're not good enough to beat your opponent, you get beat by a better side, you can put your hand up and say, oh, well, we're trying. But when you push a bloke over, I mean, it wasn't much in it, and a lot of umpires may have let it go. I wouldn't, because it's ridiculous. He's pushed him over for no reason after he's got rid of it, and he's cost their team a goal when they can't kick any themselves. So, you know, footies like that's going to really hurt you.
Back in the middle we go again. This time Maloney may have got the tap down. Handball goes to Eagles. Have Sawney on the overlap. Ran hard and got the ball. Puts the ball into their forward line. Gould had front position. Maybe should have won a free kick and did. Actually, I would have put it for over the shoulder. Maybe not for holding, but doesn't matter. He's going to get a free kick and a chance to shoot for his first of the afternoon. Jordan Gould has one behind. And from about 30 metres out directly in front, needed to say this is a very important kick at goal.
I don't really care what the umpire signals and how he signals. If he gets the decision right, he gets it right, and he did so on that particular time. Good decision. They're actually umpiring pretty well.
Yeah, no.
I got no problems today. That's 3 or 4 in a row. We've had really good umpires.
So Jordan Gould will step in now and kick for goal. Got close to the man of the mark, but the kick looks pretty good off the boot and straight over the umpire's head. His first of the afternoon, and now the second for Winchelsea. They are 2-3. They trail East Geelong 6-3, 17.5 gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, it's an understatement saying they really, really needed that one. But now they've really got to concentrate. Out of the centre that time was absolutely beautiful. But that's not going to work every time because you've got a bloke like McLennan for the opposition. So now they've got to find another way. But they've just got to keep running and running, get it in quick. He got himself in great position, so he had to get a hold or over the shoulder. And that's what they've got to continue to do. And let's face it, if they can kick 2 or 3 more, we aren't going home at half time. We're staying.
Bannockburn continue to close the gap there up to 4-9-33. Bellpost Hill 6-5-41. And now the big GDFNL game of the day. Maloney this time wins it. Tavai Sawney overruns the ball. Billy Andrew picks up for East Geelong, kicks across his body out to the half-forward flank, but it beats all players. It will be a boundary throw-in right in front of the Winchelsea Blues. A little tent where injured players are attended to when they come off the ground, keeping everyone a little drier because the old coaches' boxes aren't big enough these days for the amount of people required. McLennan doesn't really get a hand on the ball, comes over the back of the pack to Andrew, who's tackled immediately by Sawney. The umpire said, you had it long enough, son, and Tavai Sawney is probably up to 15 or 16 possessions now. He's had a great game. That's another very good one. Wide, looking for a teammate far side of the ground, but the defence of East Geelong through Crombie do well. Get it across to Zach Smith. He kicks low into the forward pocket. That is a magnificent kick and pass, and no defender in any form of football is going to stop that. And Watson Searle has another mark on the lead. He's been doing that particularly well this afternoon. He'll have a shot for goal. Another one from tight angle. This time will suit his left foot. He's just getting a little bit of furniture out of the way to allow him to have a shot.
He's moving the fence.
Is that a one-stroke penalty? That's not GUR, is it?
That's WOS.
He's just removed the GUR sign and had a beautiful long kick at goal, and that is a magnificent kick. Oh no, players loved it.
It's a magnificent kick for a point.
Goal umpire didn't. One behind only. I think these teammates might have tried to con the umpire there, but one behind only takes East Geelong to 39, Winchelsea 15. The Blues have the ball through Parrish. Little pass from him. He picks up the old 1-2, gets it into Sawney with a very, very poor handball. East Geelong wrapped up quickly in the tackle, and ball's going nowhere. It's just inside the centre square.
Thompson out to a 14-point lead down at Galvin Park, and it is persistently raining down there at the moment.
The umpire has thrown the ball up. McLennan wins the ball, hand passes it out to McIntyre. He to Mulville. He's not going anywhere. Dragged to the ground immediately, and we'll have another ball up. Winch slowly pushing forward rugby style. I've gained another 5 metres in that passage of play. Maloney up very high over Fanning. Comes through to Lemper. He hand passes it back to Fanning. Gets it outside to King. King is dragged off the ball just as he kicked. That's not going anywhere. Umpire says that is a free kick to Winch, and I think that is Cook down there that'll take a free kick for the Blues. He's kicked wide across from the wing looking for the tall Maloney. He goes up one-handed. Hand passes over the back, but that's to the advantage of East Geelong. Crombie runs onto the ball. Another drop punt pass looking for Searle, but Bordavalis works his way in front of him and takes a very good mark in defence for the Blues. So his short kick looking for Reese and finding him. Half-back flank. Reese kicks back into the middle of the ground, and Cook has made position. So they're coming out in small passages, small kicks, trying to get the ball. That is a terrible, terrible kick by Cook, looking for his teammate there in Freeman. He's going nowhere. The ball bobbles out the back. Cook tries to win it back, dragged off the ball by Cordner Mars, who kicks back into the hot spot, and Zach Smith jumps up and takes a mark almost unattended, directly in front of goal, only 20 metres out, and this one will make the game very, very wide open. East Geelong are already at 6-4-40 as Zach Smith lines up.
Don't often say this, but put down your glasses.
So Smith comes back. He's already got one, leaves the foot. Umpire loves it. His second for the afternoon. They are 7-4-46 now. Winchelsea stuck at 2-3-15. 22 and a half minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
Yeah, look, well, it's only 5 odd goals. You can sometimes make that up, but just to state of play at the moment, they're dominating all over the ground, East Geelong, and they look the real deal. Winchelsea got a long way to go. I don't know if they can make that ground up today, but I'll tell you what, they're a bit stiff. They kicked against the wind in the first quarter, and they got no wind at all to contend with in the second.
And they're not helping themselves with a little kick out of the defence like they did
Oh,
there. But I know that happens every now and then, but it's when you certainly don't need it, it just seems to rear its head. So.
Yeah, it's no good. So Fanning is... no, not Fanning. Who's that in the ruck? Izzard's in the ruck now, giving McLennan a chop out. He's over on the boundary line of a bit of a spell. But they've got the big guns in there, McIntyre, Cordner, Mars and Lemper. The ball comes down. None of those players can come at. Fanning's running out of the back line. He's tackled immediately by Stevenson, not going anywhere. We'll have another ball up. Still inside the centre square.
They're pretty complete, aren't they? What they can do in the ruck is they can give 3 or 4 blokes a run. They've got that covered.
So Maloney, very good job there to Cook. Cook inside to Reese. He kicks forward. He's looking for Gould, but he's outnumbered 2-1. Helmer punches the ball away. Parrish, that's Indy Parrish, grabs the ball, kicks it back into the hot spot. Ball comes out. The comedy of errors there as the ball's bit of basketball, bit of soccer, tries to get it off the ground, but Crombie comes out and kicks the ball, and Cordner Mars jumps on top of Indy Parrish, takes a lovely little mark.
Mark of the day contender.
Ryan Lemper has made position way out on the opposite side of the ground. Cordner Mars sees him. Lemper kicks the ball low, looking for Spicer. He's grabbed. The umpire noticed that.
He saw it. They're not missing a trick, these boys in
was
yellow.
Pretty blatant. Lemper runs through, takes the hand pass again. Kicks in looking for Smith or Watson Searle. Lands in between the two of them. Smith comes out, bodies his way to the front very well. The old fend off. Back to Lemper, who's followed up again. Long kick into the forward line from Lemper, and that has gone through for a goal. And I don't know which goal of the day, but that is a contender, Grubby.
The Corio Bay Health goal of the day and mark of the day contender, all in about the space of 30 seconds.
Magnificent bit of play there. East Geelong now go to 8-4-52. Winchelsea stuck at 2-3-15. And we are 24, nearly 25 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
How many more do they need to kick for game over, Smithy? 1, 2?
Yeah,
It's done.
It's getting... there's just basic mistakes that Winchelsea are making. Like they're handballing. I know you got to get the ball out, but you'd be much better to maybe take the tackle and look like you're trying to get it out rather than give the ball out and free it out to running players, because East Geelong just seem to be outnumbering them at the contest.
Ryan Lemper had 4 possessions in that passage of play and then finally kicked the goal. Just a superb effort.
So it is Eagle that's won the ruck contest, but it said he fended off it incorrectly, and the ball goes back to McLennan by, well, not the fault, but it goes to Mars now. Cord to Mars. He delivers the ball into the forward line. Kick wasn't good. Handball comes outside. Went looking for, I thought he was looking for McIntyre, but didn't get to him. So again, Reese now with the ball. Kick has to be good, and was. Mark is taken in defence there by Walsh. Walsh now wants to continue his little short kick again. Possession football, so they move the ball to the half back line, but still haven't cleared it. This is the kick that's got to be good. It is this time. Mark will be taken out there by Kendall. Got some players in space further down the field. Made his teammate and Parrish work a little bit harder for it than he needed to. His ball goes long into the forward line. Good kick. Mark taken out there. I think that's Copeland that's come out, sliding to the ball and takes the mark. Good kick into the forward line. He goes back looking for the ball, but it goes to Gould. Gould looks up, short kick, and that's a good mark and kick. And the mark has been taken out there by, it's
one of the Henrys, is it?
I think it's Eagle, isn't it?
It is.
Yep, so Eagles. And he is going to go back and shoot for goal.
And it all started from a really nice across-the-field kick from Jonty Scott. Is that the bloke you couldn't pick up?
Yep.
They all look the same, these blokes, don't they? It only took me 20 minutes to pick him up.
That's all right. But it's Eagle now. He comes in. Long kick towards goal.
It's coming back.
Off the boot. McLennan's back there. And it's been picked up there. And Copeland, he has read that nicely off the contest. And he has kicked his first goal of the afternoon. And it'll be Winchelsea's third. They are 3-3. They trail East Geelong 8-4. We've gone just on 27 minutes. Buckers Entertainment Centre. Second quarter scoreboard.
Jeez, they're just hanging on. They're just hanging on because even though East have dominated, they're not 10 or 11 in front like the players suggested. What are they in front now? About 4 or 5?
5.
Yeah,
it's
31 points.
Look, I know it's been raining and it's windy, but the ground's still in perfect condition. So there's still good conditions for them to be able to bang 2 or 3 goals in a row and get back. And that's what they've got to keep doing. When they get their opportunities like that, I thought he was going to kick a goal, the big bloke. It was a beautiful kick and beautifully crumb by young
Copeland.
guy.
And that was a great reward too, because he laid a really, really good shepherd there to allow Gould to win the ball and get it back in there. So
well, he wasn't concentrating
the great
on
reword.
The ball early.
He wasn't. He was being a bit naughty.
Yeah.
So back in the middle, Eagle gets it down, gets a second go at it. Hand pass dragged out of his hand, doesn't go anywhere. East coming in, McLennan going in hard there. That's Corden and Mars tried to get through. The balls keep bobbling out. Winch have sort of had a little bit of a lift. Their desperation is really high at the moment, but coming out of the back of the pack, Fanning, he's fumbling. He can't get it away. King gets it out to McLennan. He's tackled. Tackles a hand passes back to a teammate there. King gets it again. Players going in very hard. Winch have got their hands on the ball again as the halftime siren goes. And that will leave things at 8-4-52 East Geelong. Winchelsea 3-5-21. Goal kickers Dale Smith.
Yes, to do half-time, the two key forwards, Smith and Watson-Searle, both have 2. One each to Beardsall, Corden, Mars, Ezard and Lemper. And for the Winchelsea side, one each to Gould, Copeland and Parrish. We're going to take a short break, come back, all the action here. You listen to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
match of the day, only on 94.7 The Pulse.
Welcome back. We've had the half-time break. The sausage rolls were beautiful. And I don't know if you got a jam and cream scone into your Dale too. Yes, very nice indeed. Thank you to the East Geelong Football Club for their hospitality at half-time. Grubby is still lapping it up. Haven't seen the little fella yet. He'll be a while yet, but we can take this opportunity to go round the grounds. I think the Inverleigh Anarchy score is bogged at 12 to 15. Anarchy had their nose in front.
Was 50 to 16. Inverleigh kicked away.
Okay, so Belmont Lions 5-6-36, North Geelong 2-8-20. Bannockburn 4-9-33, Bellpost Hill. And I might see if that update. I don't think that's quite right either. Now we got it. We got them up to date. Inverleigh 9-10-64, Anarchy 3-5-23. Belmont Lions hanging in there 8-7-55. Very inaccurate North Geelong a 3-10-28. Bellpost Hill 7-7-49. Bannockburn 4-9-33. Thompson 6-6-42. Werribee 3-2-20. And I think, we haven't had an update for a while. Corio were 4-3-27. Geelong West 3-1-19. And the game here, East Geelong 8-4-52. Winchelsea 3-3-21. We're about to get things underway. We'll be a two-man band for a little while. But Dale Smith, let's get the third quarter underway.
So siren has sounded here, and it's going to be Eagles doing the ruck work. McLennan also in there. Both back one go at it this time. I think McLennan over the top. Went to Andrew. He's tackled immediately, brought to ground. And it's going to be a ball up straight away in the middle of the ground. And umpire quickly puts the ball back in the ground up, and Eagle this time gets the ball out. They go towards the centre wing, kicked off the ground there by Kendall. Went towards centre half forward for Winchelsea, but again it's East Geelong with some numbers around the contest. Picked up by Lemper, got out of one, got out of two, had to get rid of the third one and did so. Ball goes backwards into the hands of Andrew. He also has some time into the hands of Mars. He goes out wide looking for his teammate out there in Hoff, but ball goes over the boundary line. And there will be a throw-in on the far side of the ground. I might see grab it till three-quarter time, Rob. So it's an umpire about to restart it now with the throw-in. Does so now. Paul McLennan, he was held by the opposition ruckman. Umpire said that was okay. It's picked up again by Kendall. He goes long into the forward line. Mark, is it taken? No, it's not. And the ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in to take place. That was Lee Ellis that tried to mark there in the forward pocket.
I don't recall him for a stat. He's normally been a very effective goal kicker, but he hasn't touched it today. Geelong 56, Adelaide 40 at half-time in the AFL game, which is literally only a kilometre from where we are.
So Bale back with the umpire, thrown in. McLennan, front position, comes to the front of the contest. Again, Reece tries to work out of the contest, got rid of the ball. Picked up by Tab Sawney. He was tackled. And umpire says without the ball, so he's going to go back and have a shot at goal early in the third, which would be a good start here for the Winchelsea side. Again, not much wind to contend with at all again, and the rain that we did have has disappeared. So Sawney now with a great opportunity. His field kicking is very, very good. His goal kicking has exactly the same effect. He has got his first goal of the afternoon and the fourth now for Winchelsea. They move to 4-3. They trail East Geelong on 8-4. We have ticked over 2 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
Unbelievable. It would have been back even later. Someone pinched the scones. Well, I was on me fifth and went for me sixth and someone took the plate. But good start for the Blues.
They weren't bad scones either, were they?
Oh, they were the best I've eaten for many a long day. The beautiful plum raspberry jam. Ah, magnificent. Well done, East Geelong. A fantastic setup in there.
Just some quick GFL scores. Lara 45, St Albans 35. Leopold 35, St Joseph's 39, Colac 11, St Mary's 16, that probably won't be updated, and Geelong West 44, Grovedale 42. Back here at East Geelong, and that's a mark by a young Mulville. His neat little left foot pass into the hot spot. Crombie, his good mate from junior days. That's a neat hand pass by Fanning, releases McLennan. He gets it across to Crombie. He kicks across the ground, and there, waiting on the other side to take a very good mark is Will Howe or Ho or Hoff. Let's go with Howe. wearing number 16. He will have a shot for goal. He'll be about 45 metres out when the ball makes contact with his foot. It's better than or tighter than 45-degree angle, but goals have been kicked from that pocket today already. Leaves his foot. It's a nice looking drop punt. It's gone over the pack, and it's right through the middle for a goal. A quick answer. Hopefully it doesn't take the stuffing out of Winch, but it takes the score to 9-4-58. Winchelsea 4-3-27. Grubby, just what East needed, a quick reply.
Yeah, and it really could take the stuffing out of them because they get the first goal of the second half. You think, here we go. But they're just a good side, East. They get they get it back so quickly. You think, gee, what have we got to do? But what they've got to do is just keep going and going and going and fight it right out because, look, we're only in May. At this stage, they're not as good as East Geelong. There's no way known that they are. But things change during the season, so you've got to keep going and going, giving your best right till the final siren.
Back in the middle of the ground, tapped down by McLennan. Lemper gets it. He can't get away from the pack. Reese has got him at tackle, but a quick kick out has gone forward for Winch. Mulville gets it to McIntyre. Back to Mulville. Hand pass inside to Lemper. Lemper evades a tackle and quickly throws it onto the right boot into the forward line. That's a big pack of players.
They've knocked each other out.
All up and 3 come down. Izard is the first and only one to leap to his feet at this stage. 2 Winchelsea defenders still down.
They're both up.
Looks
That,
like
that
Walsh.
that was brave stuff. You can see that coming.
Oh dear, 3 come from all different directions and
That's
all
what
collided.
lifts you. That's the stuff
the
that
one
lifts
time.
you.
It
Blokes
was,
having a go.
Luke Henry and Walsh were the ones up. So Fanning gets it over the back of the pack, but Winchelsea release with a couple of quick handballs. Get it back out, but one of them has been intercepted. It comes back towards East Geelong. They kick into the hot spot, punched away from Crombie. He's running to get to the ball first. King gets there for East Geelong, runs around, got plenty of time now. Neat little pass, but Smith gets hold of Henry, drags him off the ball. The umpire hasn't seen it. Smith has won the ball, gets it back to Crombie. Neat little pass from him and the leading Searle. It evades him over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. So Winchelsea get the ball back through Bordevalis, pass down the line, and finds Finn Parrish, who's been pretty active off half-back for the Blues today. And he's looking to drive them into the forward line. Players making position down here on the centre wing now. Fanning tries to jump up, misses the ball, but wins the crumb. Ball comes back to McLennan, acting as a rover, kicks a horrible pass into Billy Andrew. He hand passes to Dowsett. Dowsett kicks across into the forward pocket, looking for Watson Searle over the back of the pack. First there is Henry. He's tackled immediately, not going anywhere. The umpire says there'll be a ball up. Only 20 metres out from East's goal. They're currently leading 58-27. And we've gone 6.5 minutes into this. The Lifeline Geelong Southeast third quarter here at East Geelong.
So it's Ezard that gets the ball down. He got it to oppositions and they cleared the ball out, but it's gone straight into the hands of Spicer, who is waiting about 40 metres out from goal directly in front. And he's going to go back and kick towards goal. So he's got an opportunity here to kick his first of the afternoon. And won't be too much trouble with distance and or accuracy. So the umpire was talking to him as he was coming in. Kicks that goal. Looks okay. And no, it's not. It's nowhere near it.
What's wrong with your eyes?
Yeah, no. I did have a bit of trouble there before. So Spicer, he has missed, and another behind for East Geelong. They're 9-5, and the Winchelsea on 4-3. So back in the hands of their defenders now. So they decide to play on and come to the same side as we are here. Good kick out. Reese couldn't get his hands on the ball. Handball goes back inside there from Bartel. Went looking for Lemper, but again opposition arrives. That was Henry. Ball goes back. Umpire heard a whistle. I'm not too sure.
He's saying it's a throw, and I reckon he might be right.
Yeah, it was, Grub. Good pick up.
So the ball comes back inside this time. A quick kick from Spicer will find Crombie, and he's going to go back and shoot for goal. Had a teammate there leading. Ezard looks like he wants to come again, but he's now gone back towards the goal square. Crombie quite confident he can kick the distance here, so he's going to kick from right on 50. So Ben Crombie, it's a little bit of a run around, kicks long. won't get the distance. In the square, it is spoiled and pushed through for a minor score. So now 9-6 to the East Geelong side, and it's 4-3 to Winchelsea. We've gone just on 8.5 minutes in the Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
And waiting for the ball to come back. It was punched well away into the crowd. We've got the A-grade netball game is about to get underway. I can sort of see the scoreboard. We'll try and keep you up to date because I know a lot of our listeners will be very keen to see how that game goes this afternoon. This is a battle for top spot.
I reckon 3,
No,
maybe 2.
Rob, and
There's a
Rob.
lot. There's a lot more than that, I can assure you. So Winch have the ball now. That was almost a disaster. Kick forward by Gould. It comes down running fast, as he always does, is Kersop Cole. His long drop punt tries to get into position, but outnumbered back there. Tobias Sawney's got 3-1 to beat. Lee gets it across to Mars. Mars back to Lee and across into the opposite pocket to Crombie. He kicks down the line. Lemper's made position on the half-back flank. On the clubroom side of the ground, he kicks in and finds Dowsett between halfback and centre wing. Kicks in the middle of the ground looking for McLennan. He goes up high, hits the ground without the ball. Winchelsea tackled immediately. Billy Andrew dragged Rouchet down. The umpire says there will be a free kick. It's going to go Winchelsea's way to Stevenson for dropping the ball. He kicks in and finds Henry at true centre half forward. Henry's got a lead further down for Gould, but intercepting there and taking a mark is Lee. Gets it across to Helmore, half-back flank. East about to set something up again. Helmore kicks into true centre half-back and finds Bartel. Bartel goes right across the ground, left foot past. Crombie's made position way across the other side of the ground. His lovely drop punt pass up centre wing, punched away from his teammate to the boundary line. It's Copland who wins the ball. Hand passes back into play. Easter stripped of it there. Kicked back by Winch into the hot spot, but being outnumbered again is Sawney. He's got 3-on-1. Both times he's gone for the ball. McLennan picks it up. He's tackled, dragged to the ground, and will have a ball up. Just on the 50-metre arc, Winch in attack, and they need to be off, and if they're to stay in this game, they trail 60-27. We're 11 minutes into the Lifeline. Geelong Southeast third quarter. Tapped down by Maloney. Winch player picks it up there, dragged off the ball immediately. Ball comes out into open spaces and Scott for Winch marks the ball. Left foot, long left foot kick into the forward pocket looking for Gould. Coming over the back of the pack is Henry. He gets it inside to Alice. Alice picks up, fumbles, drops the ball again. Players jump all over it. Umpire's blown the whistle. And there will be a free kick. It will go to Alice. He kicks long, quick into the forward pocket, slightly to the right-hand side. In fact, all the way out of bounds on the full, right beside the behind post. And East Geelong through Mars have won the ball back. Gets it to McIntyre. So they come out again. Kicks it back into true centre half-back. It's Spicer. Spicer gets across into the far pocket. And that's Lee over there for East Geelong who has the mark. So Lee pays on quickly. Long kick down the line. That's a very good mark by Kendall. Out-muscles his opponent. Quick kick into centre half forward, but it's into a nest of East Geelong players. Cordner-Mast gets it to McLennan. McLennan back there to Andrew, I think it was. Comes back to McLennan. He picks it up again. Cordner-Mast does some evasive work. Gets it out to Mulville. He across to McIntyre. And that McIntyre pass down the line looking for and finding Izard at half-forward flank. Plays on now, kicks in and looking for Smith. Two players from Winchelsea there. Muscle to the front of the position, and one of those is Henry. He gets it across to Indy Parish, to his brother Finn. Neat little pass from him, and finds Cook for Winchelsea. Centre wing, they're mounting something again, but it's this next kick that's been the killer for them.
Oh.
And it's happened again as the player's gone for the ball. Gould falls over. The ball is punched away. Comes across now to Andrew. Andrew gets it back from a teammate there. Dowsett has now taken the mark. No, the umpire calls play on. Dowsett has it, though, on the rebound. Hand passes, punched away from a teammate there. Winchelsea now through Reese. He's got the ball low, centre half forward kick, but coming out, almost taking the mark as Mars. Picks up the crumb. Hand passes inside to Fanning. Fanning across to McIntyre by hand. And Mulville now takes a mark on centre wing. And East mounts something again. Mulville looking for options. He rarely misses with his little left foot. This is a nice pass looking for Watson Searle. Almost takes the mark. Parrish does a very good job to pick up a crumb. Tackled immediately though. And he will force a ball up. Half forward flank. There's a lot happening, but not much happening at all. 60 plays, 27. We're 14 minutes into the lifeline third quarter.
Izzard's going to be doing the ruck work against Maloney. Ball comes out of the contest. Beardsall runs onto it, had a fresh air shot, went back, tapped it to his teammate and Lemper's advantage, went short, into the goal square. Ball runs out the back. Can he get a hand foot to it? Smith I'm talking about. No, he can't. Ball goes through for a minor score. And that will be a 9-7 now to East Geelong. 4-3 Winchelsea, 14 gone as we said. Ball now from the full-back position. They come to where we sit, far side of the ground. Ball gets at the back of the contest. Picking the ball up there was Maloney. He was tackled. Ball, he kept the ball inside. They try to keep the ball alive. Dangerous maybe. Mulville went around onto the ball, picked up by Mars. He goes short or goes high and long. And it was going to
make up your mind.
Well, I thought it was going to go short looking for the boundary line, but he kicked the ball high and it continued. So, ball's gone over the boundary line now, though. We're going to have a throw in which will take place inside their forward 50. We're talking East Geelong here. An opportunity here maybe to kick their 10th goal.
Inverleigh gone up again, another gear, 14-12, 96. Anarchy stuck on 3-5. Belmont 9-7, North Geelong 3-12. Goalpost Hill 10-8. Bannockburn 6-10. Werribee 4-3, Thompson easing away at 7-6.
Ball out of the contest. Reese runs onto the ball. He's tackled. Umpire said had an opportunity to get rid of it. And a free kick will go to the home side. And Hoff, he goes quickly into their forward line, long, out the back. Mark not taken out there by Watson Searle. Gets out the back, picked up there. Parrish had it. He's done nicely. He's been kept in the field of play, or thought he had, but the umpire behind says no, it didn't. It has gone over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw in which will take place deep in the forward line for East Geelong. The umpire's called it about 20 metres back from where he was, but he's thrown the ball in. Ball gets down. Izzard gets the ball to the front of the contest, and again Reese emerges with the ball, goes back towards the centre wing position. Mark is not taken out there. They pick the ball up, and that's Stevenson. He was tackled. He got boot the ball.
He's lucky.
Yeah, he got boot the ball. Picked up Copland. He can't get rid of it cleanly either. And East Geelong with some numbers around the contest. Ball comes out to Lemper. Taps it to his advantage. Runs onto it. Pace gets away. Looks at goal, and I think he has finished nicely. Yes, he has. And Ryan Lemper has his second goal of the afternoon and the 10th now for East Geelong. They are 10-7. They lead Winchelsea on 4-3. 16 gone. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
And no doubt a contender for the Corio Bay Healthcare goal of the day. And they just look a little bit too strong. But I tell you what, Winchelsea, there's something very wrong with their structure. They've been into the forward line three times, and all 3 times it was a 6-on-2 contest. Now, there's something got to be wrong there. You can't just keep kicking into your forward line when there's 6 defenders and only 2 forwards, because you're just not going to win it. Sawney's had to battle 3 blokes 4 times. It's just not good enough. They have to keep someone back there and help their structure out.
In the middle of the ground, McLennan goes up early. Lemper, who's got 2 contenders for the Corio Bay Health goal of the day now, gets it to Andrew. He kicks across looking for Smith. Dowsett comes through, picks a crumb up, gets it into Ho. He overruns the ball, picked up by McLennan, tackled immediately, going nowhere. Players desperate for the ball. Umpire
got him high.
Has found a high kick. And Grubby agrees with him because he called it before the umpire did.
Well, I thought he was going to let it go. He saw it and didn't play it and then played it. But that don't matter. He got it right.
So Ho has the ball for East Geelong. He'll be kicking from 50, but he's directly in front without a breath of breeze. So as long as he doesn't try and run around the man on the mark and just kick through it, he's certainly going to be a very, very good chance to get this through and put this game beyond doubt. So it's 67-27 now. Ho kicks. That's a beautiful long drop punt, but it's off to the left and one behind only. So East Geelong now are 10-7-67. Winchelsea are 4-3-27 or 10-8-68. And that's a 41-point deficit. And we're into the lifeline third quarter by 18 minutes. It's a kick out from Winchelsea, finds Henry. Henry short pass over the top of his teammate and Bartel. Izard takes a mark, kicks long into the forward line. That's a pretty good effort to mark there by Walsh. He gets a chance to crumb it back to Freeman. Freeman hand passes across to Kendall. He's wrapped up immediately, not going anywhere. Ball up 30 metres out directly in front of East Geelong's goal. 41 points in front already. The last thing Winch want is to sneak a goal or leak a goal out of this passage of play. Maloney over the back, and that's a very good bit of roving there by Henry. Kicks long down the middle of the ground. Punched away from his brother. Lemper comes through, fends off a tackle very strongly. Cross to a teammate. Kicks out wide, but Tavai Sawney does a really good job for Winch. Gets a key hand pass in there to Lee Ellis. Lee Ellis kicks further down the line. Gould has made position, half forward flank on his own.
He's got to wait. He can't go long. There's no one down there.
He's gone and waited, and Tavai Sawney ran into the forward line, then made another lead out. So he'll have a shot for goal where he's already kicked one, almost identical position. And it was the first goal of the second half. And he will go back now to try and get Winchelsea's 5th for the afternoon, and desperately needed would be an understatement. So Tavai Sawney, clearly his club's best player today. Long drop punt from him. He's very happy. Second goal for the afternoon from exactly that same position. They go to 5-3-33. East Geelong are 10-8-68. And that's 20 minutes into the lifeline third quarter.
I'm going to get the binoculars on the Winch coaches box, because I reckon Butch is listening to us. He must be. Because all of a sudden they go in and they're evenly matched. It's not 6-on-2 anymore. The forwards got back where they should have been in time, and all of a sudden they created a loose man. And I tell you what, this Sawney, I knew he was a good player. I even said it on your Sports Fix show this morning. But he's playing even better than I thought he could. He's a really good kid. And well, he's not a kid. He's getting on too now. But you know, they go in their forward line with even numbers, and they're a chance to kick a goal. Unlike before, when they were totally outnumbered.
So McLennan doing the ruck work. He's up against Maloney. Ball from the contest. Comes out the back. Cord to Mars. Picks the ball up. Gets away nicely. Puts a boot to ball. Goes into the half-forward line. Mark not taken out there by Spicer. Continues to run back behind the contest. Drawing the work to ball there is Huff. He's... now, has he won a free kick, has he? Yes, he has.
Not sure of that one.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it was for either, but he's been given one. Kicks in short. That's okay. Into the hands there of Parrish. He goes further afield. Marcus further taken there by Rouget. He comes out wide. Kicked a little bit slow through the air. Mulville gets to the contest. But Scott's able to go back and try and pick the ball up. Mulville did nicely there. Tapped it out of his path. Went back and collected it. Can go back by hand. He did go back by hand. Went looking for Mars. Well, that's a free kick for infringement there. And didn't know reason to do that. And the free kick will go to...
Yeah, well, I'm going the other
Alistair
way.
Mars.
I'm going the other way.
So was I.
Nah.
He blocked him. He just went back into him and blocked him. About 12 metres off the ball. He can't do that. He was nowhere near the football. He just went back into him.
Quite sure.
I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it that way. I saw it the other way. Definitely free kick to Mars.
Well, he had to put in the finish, but he shouldn't have been there. You're not allowed to block blokes that far off the footy.
So the ball goes quickly into the forward line, and Beardsall comes from behind the contest and has run into space, and he will go back. It looks like he wants to go quickly. He's going to go there now. Umpire comes in and saying, "Oh, mate, I'm going to call you back. I was about to set your mark." So he's now got to steady himself from that same position. So Beardsall now has one for the afternoon. Comes in, kicks low, kicks flat, goes towards Smith. Out the back, its mark was taken. I would have paid that, and that mark went straight into the hands of Parrish. And he will be the recipient of that mark. He goes short. Oh, dangerous again. Goes back towards Beardsall. Intercepted there by Smith, who goes on the right boot. Brings it back with a banana, and it has gone straight through the middle. He's got his third for the afternoon. The 11th for East Geelong. 11 goals, 8. They lead Winchelsea 5 goals, 3. 22 gone. Lifeline third quarter.
He brought it back with a what?
A banana.
A banana. You are a complete idiot. Neville and Alan and that, they reckon I'm the idiot here. Guess what? They're wrong. Well, they might be right, but we got two of us. Unbelievable. Banana. But it was a beautiful kick. As soon as he got the ball in his hand, you knew he was going to kick that. And unfortunately for Winch, that was a terrible, terrible mistake. When in doubt, don't put short passes into a contest. Kick it long.
Yes, they've heard a bit this afternoon. It's cost them very dearly.
I've done it again.
Look out, it's running.
I've done it again.
Oh, dear me, we've had...
And the ball back in the middle and picked up there by Andrew. Goes to McLennan. Back towards Andrew. Grubby's just had enough, I think. His ball's come out the back. McLennan's got it. Not too sure where he wants to go. Went to King. King went outside. Again, they maintain the possession. McIntyre. Oh, a little short kick inside was good to Crombie. Back into the hands there of his teammate in King, who's followed up. Back into the hands of Mulville. He runs towards 50, kicks long into the forward line. Ball bounces. How will it bounce? It will bounce through for a minor score. And it's going to be 11 goals, 9 now. I've got some stuff in my car if you want me to go and grab it. Give me 2 secs. Ball kicked out there by Budavalis. And it's into the back pocket. Mark has been taken out there by Freeman.
Oh, dear me. Calamity in the commentary box.
Ball kicked now, long. Henry up early. He had the hang, but he just couldn't hang on to the ball. That would have been nearly mark of the day. Ball now into the hands of Alice. You haven't seen much of him this afternoon, but he's got the ball now. He can go quickly now, and he decides to do that now and goes down the line. Again, back there, Cordner Marsh comes in and takes the mark. He kicks the ball back inside, has the player inside in Fanning. Another short option. Kicker's also good. Outside goes to Spicer. Further afield they go, so they go across the ground. Now they straighten themselves up as Izzard comes up to meet the ball. Was going to go inside with the handball, decided better of it. And we'll hold things up as Andrew goes round the back. Got players still inside. He goes that way now. Mark is taken out there this time by Skate. So Skate is right in the middle of the ground. Looking to deliver the ball. Goes looking towards McIntyre. Up in front. Good hands. Spoil from behind wasn't there. Handball goes off now. Cordner Mars runs. Looks at his options. Goes outside. Tim Lee gets the ball. Goes into their forward line. Set his teammate a bit of a task there, but he went back after the ball. Picks the ball up. Got the handball away. Into the hands there of Andrew. Andrew now. Ball goes back into their forward line, but filling the hole nicely. And Mark is taken out there by the defence, and Kendall it is. He goes short. This is where they've been mucking up. That short kick out of defence hasn't been a good option. They're going to do it again. This time it will come off, so it's Parrish to Parrish. And Finn has the ball in his hands right now. At the centre-half back position with another short option. So again, they persist with it. Ball is taken this time by Alice. He now decides to run, goes out wide, over the top. Defence from Geelong, bring the ball to their attack, or to their own possession. Picked up out there by Dowsett it was. He's taken over the boundary line, and we're going to have a throw-in which will take place far side of the ground. Almost 26 minutes gone. Lifeline third quarter, and it is East Geelong 11-9, 5-3 Winchelsea.
Oh, dear me. McLennan gets the tap out from the ruck. It goes to McIntyre. He's immediately tackled, and there will be another ball up. Dear me. The calamity continues in here. We've got the necessary problems. So East Geelong 75, Winch 33. Tap out there, going forward for Winch. Stevenson wins possession, kicks the ball out in the path of Alice. He breaks away from his teammate. Opponent gets a hand pass through to Henry. He kicks long. Copeland's outnumbered again, 2-1. Cordner Mars comes on, overruns the ball. Winch get it out to Sawney. Sawney comes back inside. Quick little kick from him, looking for Kendall. Kendall's tackled immediately by Lemper, and the umpire said he was tackled high. And Winchelsea will have a shot for goal. Lockie Kendall, slow starter today, but he's worked his way into the game in the last little while. And he will go back and have a shot for goal now. 35 metres out, almost directly in front. His team desperately needs this goal to stay in the hunt this afternoon.
You know, Paul, his listeners don't know what happened. I did knock a drink over. It was your fault. Yours.
Why?
For saying banana. Yeah, bloody idiot.
So, Lockie Kendall now coming back very deliberately. He knows the importance of this kick. It leaves the foot. It's a nice looking drop punt. The goal umpire has not moved a muscle. And that is Winchelsea's important goal, their sixth for the afternoon, right on the three-quarter time siren, 6-3-33. They trail the East Geelong side 11-9-75. Dale Smith, goal kickers, please.
Yes, to the stage of the game. Zach Smith has the 3. Watson, Searle and Lemper both with 2, 1 each to Beardsall, Cordner Mars, Hoff or Hall or whatever you want to call him.
Careful.
I'm going to call him.
Don't call him that because he's the other bloke's mum was going to punch you up one year here.
That was the brother horse.
Yeah.
And Ezard also with 1. And for the Winchelsea side, 2 to Tav Sawney, 1 each to Gould, Kendall, Copeland and Finn Parish. Going to take a short break, come back, final call to action here. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Only on 94.7 The Pulse.
We're back here, East Geelong, the Auswide Plumbing, Plumbing and Civil Oval. I can look through the crowd and I can see the score in the A-grade netball. East Geelong 2, Winchelsea 8, I reckon, unless my eyes are tricking me. I'll wait for someone to confirm that later on. Grubby, we've got an interesting game today. I think
like
the winner's known now, but what have we learnt about Winchelsea today?
Well, at the moment, we've learnt that they're not good enough. It's purely and simply not good enough at this point of the year. So for them to play finals and be competitive in finals, they've got a lot of improvement to do. But I think they're up against the best in the business. We've seen them all now. We've seen most of the sides, and I think the 3 quarters I've seen today is probably the best side I've seen. I've got to say that. So. But I think they've fallen away a little bit. They're not quite good enough. They've got a few players still that can play. Like Reese is a good player, but he's yet to hit his straps. Alice, we know how good a player he's been, but he's been a bit down. But I would say at this stage, you know, that 5th spot, it's going to be a real tough one, the 5th spot. And we always thought Winch would be involved in that. And they still might, but I think they're just a little bit below the top couple of sides. But look, that might change as they bond together. But we'll see what happens to them.
Yeah, it has been a bit of a disappointment, I must admit. I was looking forward to this game very much today, but haven't gone as well. We can duck around the grounds.
1-9, you idiot.
No, it's that one. I think that's quarter one.
That's the
period.
quarter.
Yeah, the other two's the other side. Grub, there's a.
It's 3-9 now, I reckon. Inverleigh 103. They got it bolted away from Anarchy, who are 29. Belmont Lions 10-7-67. A very inaccurate North Geelong 5-14-44. So 23 points to Belmont there. Belpost Hill are bolted away from Bannockburn. They're 13-11-89. Bannockburn 6-10-46. Werribee 4-4-28. Thompson are 7-8-50. Corio just behind West a little bit. They led for most of that, but Corio 9-3-57. West have now kicked 11-4-70. And the big game here, East 11-9-75. Winchelsea 6-3-39. They're a very methodical, smooth combination. East, they're very calm with their ball movement. And I suppose, again, we talked about how effective they'd be at a big St Albans in finals. It's a game style that suits that, isn't it, Grubby?
It is, and that's why I thought that'd probably help them out last year. But I reckon what I've seen over this side compared to other sides, you get sides that are stronger up forward, or you get sides with great defence, and some of them have got really good on-ballers. But this mob seem to have an even balance all over the ground. Their defence is as good as their midfielders, are as good as their forwards. And when Winchelsea have gone in there, their defence has been too strong. When they've gone forward, they've kicked enough goals, and they're winning in the middle, obviously with the aid of the best ruckman in the comp. So I think as an even balance, they're as good. They're each as good as each other, and that's what's going to be so hard to stop. I haven't seen enough of the other sides to know whether they can stop. And look, we're in May, right? The finals aren't played till August, September, so things can change, injuries can change things. But I would say, you're right, at this stage, they're probably the best side I've seen.
And we've talked a lot about younger players, Dale. We saw some of these East Geelong kids last year, but 3 today, Ben Crombie, Sam King and Austin Mulville, they've clearly grown into really handy senior footballers now, haven't they?
Yeah, I think the good part about it is, Crombie's developed his game further because we thought he was seemed to play forward or back. Well, I'm not too sure where his best position is, but today he seems to be running through the midfield. Zach Smith, I haven't seen. Sorry, not Zach Smith. Sam King. I don't know whether I've seen him last year, but he had an opportunity.
We saw him in a game last year, but he was one of that group. But there was half a dozen teenagers.
Yeah,
in that
well,
side.
he's definitely come on because the way he shows his poise around the contest is really, really good. And as I said, I suppose the ability now to have Ezard in that side as well. We knew he was a big, tall lad, but they've got some big, tall options now, and they seem to be pretty mobile. Like McLennan, to me, seems to be moving better now than I reckon I've ever seen him move, if that's possible.
Is Lowe playing?
Sam Lowe, I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Well, he's played. He played last week.
Well, there you go.
So when he comes back in, there's another tall mobile.
Yeah. And as I said, they just use the ball so well, and I think that's the difference. We spoke about it just before. East haven't. When they kick a ball, they kick it low and flat, and it seems to hit its target, whereas Winch have been able to kick the ball forward, but they chip it up and just give the opposition that chance to get to the contest, spoil it, or intercept it, and that's been their biggest part of their turnover. As I said, it's all right to be able to control the ball and kick short, but that last kick that's come out just to give the opposition a look at it, and that's when they've turned the ball over and it's hurt them 3 or 4 times.
But it's hard to find Winch players that have been consistently good, whereas East Geelong, they got plenty. And probably Jack Hall, you'd have him 3 votes. You and that idiot Brady.
I reckon he'd be probably doing it really well out there.
Yeah, he's doing the same as last week.
I reckon he's had as many
Galar give him 3 votes.
Just before we get underway, Winchelsea dominating the netball, 11-4 in the first quarter in the A-grade netball. Back in the middle of the ground, and Dale Smith is going to get this Morris Finance final quarter underway here at the East Geelong Oval.
At the what?
The Auswide Plumbing and Civil
Oval.
Ball
is with the umpire, and it is thrown in the air. Buckman go at it. This time we've got young Henry in there doing some ruck work. Ball comes out of the contest, picked up out there. Reese goes on the right boot, kicked it high. I'm not too sure who he's looking for. Lemper goes across and take a mark. He gets the ball. He doesn't want to muck around. He goes across the ground, goes looking for Crombie. He's made some space again. He'll take the mark, and he will settle the things down once again. Goes across the ground this time. Ali Mars from behind the ball comes up, takes it now and kicks into their forward line. They've used the ball nicely. McIntyre in some space. Handball's over the top, a little bit slow. Andrew made it okay. Ball comes out to Mulville. He goes short, looking for Watson Searle. Actually went back and collected his own ball. Got in and out of trouble. Put it in the hands of Ezard, who goes back towards the goal. Heads towards the pocket. Beardsley's out there. Mark is not taken, and it goes over the boundary line. And we will have a throw-in in the forward pocket.
I've got to chip you too in that last quarter. You said the mark of the day. You forgot to say the Hotham Hotel mark of the day.
Hotham Hotel mark of the day. Well, who was that? Lemper again, wasn't it? No, I can't remember who it was.
he's going to win everything.
No, that was Tom Henry jumped in the ball and just missed it. So the ball now comes out and they move the ball through Finn Parrish. His kick's not good coming out of defence. Put his teammate under a little bit of pressure. Mars went back. He wasn't able to pick the ball up. Picked up out there this time by Cook. He's tackled. Ball comes out. Mars tried to force his way through the contest. Ball comes out. There's a fair bit of pressure being applied, and this is what we'd like to see early in the last quarter. No side prepared to give an inch, and that ball up will take place far side of the ground, half forward line. Again, still in East Geelong's attacking half. Ball from Henry from the ruck contest comes out. And again, the ball now back into the hands of Lemper. He goes across the ground. That's a great-looking kick, and they're straight into the hands of Zach Smith, who didn't change stride. Got options short. He decides to play on now, run long, kicks long. Kick is heading towards goal. Has it got the legs? Yes, it has. He has the first of the last quarter, and he's fourth for the game. 12-9 now to East Geelong, leading Winchelsea 6 goals 3. 2 minutes gone. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Well, she's over. So what do Winchelsea do? Do they just say, oh, well, we'll come back next week and play better? Or do they get together and they play the best footy they can play to show East Geelong that when we play each other next time out at Winchelsea, we will be a better side? And I think that's the option they have to take. They've just got to say, all right, we can't win, but we can still play some good footy. And hopefully they can do that and not get steamrolled, because if they get steamrolled, I think their confidence drops.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. That Zach Smith, he's a magnificent kick for goal. That was a bit helicopterish, but still straight. McLennan beautifully down to Billy Andrew. He kicks into the forward pocket looking for Smith. He eases his player out underneath the ball, but not able to take the mark, and it goes off hands over the boundary line for a throw-in. We're just on the 50-metre arc. Eastern attack again, already leading 81-39. And we are 3 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter here at the Auswide Plumbing and Civil Oval at East Geelong. McLennan and Henry are going for the ruck. McLennan can't get a hand on it. McIntyre runs onto the ball. Quick hand pass to Crombie, who's played very well this afternoon. Gets it into the forward line for East Geelong. Coming through there, relieving is Parrish to Freeman by hand, which was not very helpful to him. Tackled immediately, going nowhere. And another ball up just inside the 50-metre arc. East will be really keen to finish this game strong, but as Grubby pointed out, Winch have to really rally. There over the back, Henry got a tap out. Went wide with it, which was effective. Billy Andrew picks up a crumb, kicks long into the goal square. The ball is still up for grabs. Zach Smith is trying to play a bit of soccer there to get it through. Couldn't get his foot to the ball, and it's been forced over the line for a behind. And Winch come away from the back line again. It's Walsh, I think, kicks long into the centre of the ground. Coming through, trying to mark is Gould. Gould can't take the mark. The umpire has awarded a kick to Sam King. King runs around, sees a player out wide. That's his young mate in Crombie. Crombie takes a mark unopposed, but his kick misses the target over the back of Beardsall. And it's been marked in the back pocket by Henry. That is a horrible looking kick from him. Down to centre wing. Gould tries to burst through the pack, can't. McDonald is tackled immediately. He's going nowhere. The umpire comes in and says, let's ball it up. Centre wing, sun bathing the ground now.
Another catastrophe in the commentary box.
What's happened?
I've just sent a nasty message to Spider Brady, but I sent it to Neville Whitley instead. There's 2 weeks. I'm gone. I'm gone.
Oh dear me. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have Henry and McLennan. No one has won a free kick here. Oh, sorry, Henry has won a free kick here. McLennan had a hand over the shoulder. And Tom Henry for Winchelsea kicks into centre half forward, looking for Alice. He's outnumbered and overpowered height-wise, coming through, trying to go underneath the tackle there. Tavai Sawney picks up the ball. His kick is smothered immediately. Lemper comes through to his good mate McIntyre, midfield protagonists, and they ease the ball out. And Austin Mulville is marked on centre wing. Left footer kicks down the line, coming out to take a mark is Izard. True centre wing, about to set up East Geelong into attack again. He kicks long into the middle of the ground, a horrible helicopter. This is something they do really well. Be prepared to switch, kick at long distances to open play up. Crombie's picked up the crumb, gets it across to Beardsall. He's got a paddock in front of him. He's taken 2 bounces. He's going to line up for goal now. No, he's kicked it across into the pocket. That is brilliant play. Winchelsea players had presumed he's going to have a shot for goal, ran to the square. Watson Searle eased away to the right. He was seen by Beardsall and he's hit him on the chest, forward pocket. And this is Blake's had a mixed bag for the afternoon kicking at goal, Dale. You probably kept the stats, but I think that straight kick has taken him to 3-2 and 3 out in the full. But it's taken East Geelong to 88 to Winchelsea 39. So that would be 12-8-88. Might be 13-8-88.
13-10.
Bad mathematics. 13-10-88. Oh, God, the scoreboard's hard to see. Winchelsea struggling, 39 points, a long way behind. Grubby, the fat lady's singing well and truly
it's already
now.
sung. She's already sung. But I tell you, I don't agree with the way you called that at all. That was shock and play. That was shock and play. Where would we be if Phil Manasseh had passed it off? Where would we be if Michael Long had passed it off? He could have run down to the ground and kicked, well, where are we? And kicked the Corio Bay Healthcare Goal of the Year. And what's he do? Unselfishly passes it to a teammate and another boring, ordinary goal.
So we're back in the middle this time. Henry doing a ruck work. McLennan been in there most of the day. Ball comes down. Lemper again. Looks like he's going to win clearance. No, overran the ball. His teammate right behind him was going to pick the ball up, and I can't see who it is now in amongst all those players. It is Spicer, and he was tackled quickly. So back with the umpire once again. Ball thrown quickly. Gain comes out. Reese takes the ball from the contest, goes in outside looking for Copland. He overran the ball, went back and collected it nicely. They got boots of ball, put it into their forward line. Gain, ball runs to and past the goals and to the pocket. Is going to be kept in play. Umpire, I thought that had gone over the line. Picked up out there, and it's going to be brought back in by Bartel. Found his teammate there in Fanning. Decides to go long, out towards centre wing. Lemper over the back, mark not taken. Picked up there, McLennan. Handballs over the top, running player outside. Goes in that direction.
No.
The Spicer had it, lost it. Actually, I reckon that makes up for the one down the road further, because I reckon that one down there further was definitely out of bounds.
Oh, dear.
Train's just about to leave the station. Ball thrown back in. Again, McLennan gets the ball out of the ruck contest. Got the handball outside. Went back to Spicer. Got the handball back. They use the ball. Fanning, short, wide. And their mark is taken. Don't know whether that travelled the full distance, but Bartel has claimed it. He's looking back inside in the middle. Kick wasn't good. The ball was intercepted. Picked up by Reese. He was tackled when looking towards Tav Sawney, but he couldn't pick the ball up. Again, Reese on hands and knees, gets the ball out. Mars had it, he was tackled. Again, a lot of people around the contest, and now it finally comes out. Hamwell runs onto the ball, and he's going to chase the ball and kick out wide. Ball gets over the back of the contest, centre wing. Pick out there, Walsh, it was. He's going to go back into their forward line. That's a better kick. Mark is going to be taken out there by Gould. Got the handball away.
No.
Not too sure why he did that so quickly. Copeland has a look inside, went looking towards Alice in the pocket, and the kick had a little bit too much on it, went over the boundary line and will be thrown back in.
The reason they're kicking so bad up there is because East Geelong put on relentless pressure. And even when they're not there, there's perceived pressure.
So the ball in the pocket is being thrown back in by the umpire. Actually, it wasn't any ruckman went after that ball. Ball at the ground level. Not too sure, was cleared, but not too far. Picked up Parrish. His kick was smothered. Picked up Crombie. Handball back outside. And again with some nice handball through a skate. Ball comes out. They get the ball now towards centre wing and they run and kick back towards the centre wing. Oh, tackle there by Dowsett. I'm not too sure his opposition player had the ball.
It was 8 metres
yeah,
away.
He was. And he's got the ball. McLennan back inside. That's a great kick. Beardsley in some space. Maybe this time, Grub. There's one bounce.
Going.
No, he's going to go long once again. Smith's out the back. Oh, gee,
he's
that's
always
a nice
gonna mark
kick.
it.
Nice kick over the top to his mate. And Watson Searle went back to him now. Put himself under a little bit of pressure. But he's equal to the task. And he has got his 5th goal of the day. Zach Smith, the 14th now for East Geelong. They are 14-10. They lead Winchelsea on 6 goals, 3. 10.5 gone. Morris Finance, final quarter scoreboard.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to talk about the coach, the new coach, Gordon Amas, right? What I said before about the Manasseh, it was all a joke, obviously, having a bit of fun. But what actually hit me when I was saying that was that Watson Searle and Zach Smith, over the last couple of years, they've been a little bit individuals, and that's good because they're good players. But he's got them playing like a team. He's got them doing the unselfish stuff. And I reckon if one of the problems East may have had over the last few years was, were they a real team? And I'll tell you what, they are now because they're all playing for each other, handballing to the right blokes, kicking to the right blokes, and playing really good, unselfish football.
Back in the middle, Maloney goes up, but McLennan gets it down again. McIntyre does a loopy little hand pass, but it's Brendan Reese who intercepts that for Winchelsea over the back of the pack. Ali Mars, a handball from him. Reese again intercepts Handball from him gets it across to Kendall. Kendall beautifully passes to the running Tavai Sawney, who has a long shot at goal from a long way out. And that is a beautiful finish. His third goal for the afternoon. What a great bit of play from Kendall and the team to set that up. But it was Reese on 2 occasions getting his body on the line that gave the Winch that opportunity. That'll give him a bit of a lift, Grubby.
Well, it will give him a bit of a lift, but not so much to win this game. It's just exactly what I said before. Keep trying to play some good football, and then when you go through your review tomorrow or whatever you go through it, you can pick them out and say, hey, that was good footy. That was good footy. And all we've got to do now is put it all together and play more of it, and we will be a contender. But, yep, they've got to keep playing footy like that because that was lovely footy to watch.
In the middle again, it's Maloney and McLennan. McLennan gets it down to McIntyre. No, Spicer, sorry. He's tackled immediately by Freeman. No, it was Rouget. And ball not going anywhere. Secondary ball up in the middle. This time Maloney got most of that. But it's Cordner-Mars who's won the ball and the free kick for a high tackle. And he gets it quickly across to the running McIntyre. Left foot pass into the pocket and coming out. Taking a mark is Izard. He's on the 50-metre arc, too far out to score. He'll be looking for options. Watson Searle is waiting back in the goal square. The short lead comes into the forward pocket, and it's Beardsell who has it. He runs round and a little pass into the centre half forward position. Zach Smith tries to take a mark, drops it, but he then runs onto the crumb, kicks it forward. Winch run onto crumb, and Brenton Reese comes out again. Hand pass across to... that's Eagle, the younger of the two. He gets it to Gould. Gould wins a hand pass to Indy Parish. He's tackled immediately, loses possession. Ball falls to his feet. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. It's right on the point of the centre square, East Geelong's attacking side. McLennan runs onto the ball, gets it to McIntyre. McIntyre to Spicer, a little dinky kick from him into the forward pocket for Ho. Ho back to his coach, Cordner-Mars. Feigns a hand pass, gives him time to release and support the lead of Watson Searle, who's marked in the forward pocket. Another tight angle, but it suits him from being a left footer. And he'll go back to line up for his fourth for the afternoon. To go with 5 other shots for goal, I reckon he's had. So he's worked hard, but the kicking's let him down a little. This time, that is a horrible helicopter. Faded to the right, 1 behind only. 3-3 return. He's got the 3-3s, I reckon.
3-3-3.
3-3-3 for 9 shots at goal. So if you got 9 shots at goal from your full forward, you'd be happy every week, Grubby, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but if you kick 9, you'd be even happier.
You would be. So I think it's Walsh has the ball for Winchelsea. Deep in defence, runs out of the square now. Runs around his man, does a very, very good job. That's Parish, actually. Kicks long to centre wing over the back of the pack. Running onto the ball there for Winch is Gould. He kicks long. Tavai Sawney's got it. Tackled immediately. Butters up, tries to get it again. The umpire said he was tackled without the ball, and that is a good decision because it was the correct decision. And Tavai Sawney wins another possession. A beautiful flat drop punt pass. Hits the chest of Kendall. Can't hold the mark. Ali Mars backs up with a long kick out to safety, but Finn Parish is first there for Winch. Kicks it back into the hot spot. Over the back of the pack. Gould drops the mark to Sawney. Left foot snap across the body into vacant space. Forward pocket. Bounce, bounce, bounce over the boundary line. Out of bounds in the forward pocket. Winchelsea in attack. It's about 5 metres round from their behind post. They are trailing 45-95, and we're 15 and a half minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter.
So Ruckman now to go at it again in the forward line. Ball comes out
in front of West.
Henry had the ball, comes out the back to Andrew. Andrew got the hand off to Cordner-Mars, and he just a little kick outside, and Beardsell takes the mark, so he decides he's going to slow things down now. A couple of blokes back in the forward half still lying on the ground, but slowly getting to their feet. And again, the kick outside was good. Back inside. Had to be a good kick and was. Mars has got the ball. He's going to continue to come this way. Another dangerous kick, but they might get away with it. McIntyre left the ball behind. Reese on hands and knees. They've got some numbers around the contest. Mulville went back and collected it. Got a high tackle. Umpire saw it, and a free kick will go to Mulville. He's got a player outside. He's going to go short into the hands here of King. Got Beardsell further afield, and they move the ball nicely and go to him. And now the runner's back inside. Beardsell now just looking at his options further down the field. McLennan's still working pretty hard. He goes back into the middle of the ground. That's a nice low flat kick, and the mark has been taken in middle of the ground. Skate gets the handball. Was going to give the handball. Called the play on now by the umpire. He goes short. Their footwork is exceptional. McIntyre goes short, and the mark, actually the good clean pickup there was by Lemper. Handball's back outside to McIntyre. Little chip towards Smith. He's in front. He will take the mark and go back and shoot for goal. So Zach Smith has 5 and can kick at goal number 6. Again, I'm not too sure the distance will trouble him here.
It shouldn't.
So he's looking around. Comes in. Gets his momentum up. He stabs at the ball. Ball will go across the face. Mark is not taken. Ball has gone over the boundary line, so we're going to have a throw in beside the behind post. So just waiting now with the umpire. Looks like Ezard doing the ruck work now. Down there with him is Maloney. Ball is tipped out. Oh, actually took it out of the contest. Ezard had a shot towards goal, but it has gone across the front. And it's 1-1 to that player now. He's got his going okay again today at 14-12 now. East Geelong 7-3 to Winchelsea, and we have gone just on 18 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
So Parrish for Winch has the kick out. It's a high drop punt, hoping for a teammate, but East Geelong have got the numbers around it. It was Bartel had tried to get away, but a quick kick forward for Winch finds Ellis. Ellis to Indy Parrish. Back to Cook. Cook throws the ball away literally to nowhere. Cordner-Mars picks up the crumb and finds his teammate McIntyre in the middle of the ground. And as they're prone to do, kicks straight across the oval, looking for Lee. Couldn't quite get it. Reese has got the ball, and on the rebound, Winch have now gone forward. Sawney is doing battle with Helmore. Sawney's going to be second at it after Helmore's had a bit of a crack, but Helmore did a really, really good job there. It was 2-1, and he kept chipping away, and he's forced it over the boundary line, and that is a really good outcome for Reese. They're under some pressure there, outnumbered back there, but Helmore has taken it upon himself to save the day for East. And the boundary throw in now. On the 50-metre arc for Winchelsea, in the front position, McLennan with Henry, comes over the back of the pack. Coming through is Spicer. He gets it inside to Mulville. Mulville to McIntyre by hand. Wide hand pass from him, looking for Skate. It is back there. He kicks across to looking for a teammate there in Bartel, but Winchelsea win the ball. I think it was Kendall. Kendall gets across to Indy Parrish, over the head just of Tavai Sawney. Quick kick forward by Winch, but East's defence very strong again, gets it out. Sawney picks up a crumb though to Stevenson. Stevenson works around players, finally releases to Gould. His hand pass is straight up in the air. The umpire deemed it to be a throw rather than a hand pass. And Helmore, who was the tackler, will take the free kick. Kicks it wide across into the back line. East doing a very good job. Get it to Dowsett. Punched away from him. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Not far around from where we're sitting this afternoon. A cold afternoon at East Geelong. But the footy's been pretty darn hot. 96 plays 45. We're 20 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter.
Is he just talking bullshit? He's just unbelievable.
Ball is thrown back in front of the contest. McLennan takes it out of the ruck, goes to Cordner-Mars into the hands there of Spicer. Short kick will find Crombie. Brennan, Hoff. The Hoff's got the ball, goes by hand into the hands of Spicer. He goes forward, nice use of the ball once again. Mark has been taken there by Smith. Looking for his mate to come at him again, but don't think he's back there. He goes long. I tell you what, it's a nice bounce, and that has gone.
No.
Oh, I thought that was a goal.
Hit the post.
Oh, hit the post, did it?
And Smith has 5-3 now.
What's the Hoff?
The Hoff.
You're getting as bad as Cameron.
The Hoff. I like that.
God.
That's very good. We'll run with that.
He's as bad as him.
Oh, Finn. Sorry, no. Yeah, Finn Parrish has the ball, gets it across into the back pocket, then kicked across the ground, and it is actually Walsh there who marks in the back pocket. He kicks further down the line and finds Kendall. I reckon that is. A half-back flank for Winch. Runs around now, short kick into the middle of the ground, over the, not quite get to Copland, come across there, hand pass across to Cordner-Mars. He gets it to Mulville, inside to King. Nice little pass from King looking for and finding Crombie running down the middle of the ground. That was a delicate little pass. I like that.
And the other bloke was your mate.
The Hoff.
Kendall. It was, Kersop Cole.
Kersop Cole, was it?
Yeah. Bit disappointing.
He has been disappointing.
But just today.
Just today, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a couple of skill errors that...
Even I had one bad day once. only kicked 4.
Kersey
Wasn't happy.
So it's Crombie now directly in front, 45 to 50 out, leaves the boot really, really well. It's long, just punched away on the line, punched forward. Dowsett picks up the ball. He's grabbed immediately going, no, the umpire said, ball it up. 10 metres round from the behind post, very, very close to the boundary line. East in attack, already leading 97 to 45. Can they bring the 100 up at the 22-minute mark? Quick kick across the body by the Hoff. One behind only takes them to 98. They're easing in on the 3 figures.
Young Crombie's made the same mistake twice. The big kick from right on 50, either lob it about 10 metres inside the line to give them a chance, or kick the goal. But right on the line gives the defenders, makes it too easy for them.
So Finn Parrish, long kick down the middle of the ground, punched away by Tobias Sawney, tries to pick up the crumb. He lays a very good tackle. The ball drops out. The umpire said, you held onto him too long, Tav. And Beardsall for East Geelong will have the free kick. Just forward of centre. They push forward looking for this century. The win is in, no doubt. It's just the 100 now. Beardsall kicks into the pocket, punched away by Winchelsea defence, heading out towards the boundary line. And Scott sees it over the line right in front of his coach's box, where he'll be trying to impress Christian Shaw with a last burst to make sure that's remembered on Thursday night when the teams are picked.
Or when the 100s come out.
That's right. Yeah, Eagle wins a tap down. We haven't seen too much of him since the quarter time. He's been lobbed into the forward pocket or sitting on the bench. And maybe it might be time for him to be a bit serious about his footy and get some fitness into him. He throws McLennan out of the way and concedes a free kick out of sheer frustration. And Tim McLennan, the reigning Neville Whitley medalist, and hopefully he's still talking to Grubby at the end of the day. He quickly hand passes to Beardsall. He kicks long into the square, punched away. Bordevalis gets a hand pass towards Parrish, but through the point post it goes.
Hopefully who's talking to him? Oh, Nev. Sorry, Nev. Wrong bloke.
So the umpire has deemed it's gone out of bounds, been thrown back in. Players working to the front of the pack. Stevenson's trying to get hold of the ball. He was pulled off it, not noticed by the umpire there. Comes across to Beardsall. Left foot snap from him right across the face of goal. Literally, no, snuck in for one behind. The boundary umpire and the goal umpire had consultation at the post. And one behind only. That takes them to 99. And, yeah, beautiful sunshine bathing the ground at the moment. So Tom Stevenson has run back.
We've got another special commentator.
He's going to take the kick in from fullback. Stevenson has been a pretty solid performer today for his club. Goes forward, coming through there is Reese. Breaks a tackle, bounces the ball, goes backwards, looking for an option. Finds a little kick forward, and that'll be taken by Scott. So Scott for Winchelsea halfback flank. Umpire suggested he plays on. Short pass from him.
Not 15.
Stevenson has moved forward. Umpire said not 15. Hand passes forward in a funny way to Reese. He's tackled immediately. Gets it onto his boot. No. Yes. No. Umpire's blown the whistle. Said incorrect disposal, son. Dowsett will take the free kick for East Geelong. They surge forward again with 25 and a half minutes in. Goes across to the middle of the ground, and that is marked by Spicer, who's been a very, very good player today. He kicks forward, lands on the chest of Zach Smith at centre half forward. He will go back, definitely will kick the distance. No doubt the 100 will be reached after this kick. Whether it's 105 or 108, we'll have to wait and see. But he's already got 5 for the afternoon. Played a very, very good game. Grubby put him on notice before the first siren, and he has responded. So Zach Smith, about 50 metres out from when he kicks. Beautiful kick normally. It's a long, long drop punt. It's a long, slightly inaccurate. It's brought up the 100. It's brought up the 100 though. One behind only. Zach Smith's kicked 5-3 now. 5-4. So they've both had 9 shots at goal, the key forwards. That's a problem Winch probably needs to work on with their key defenders during the week, and I'm sure Christian Shaw will be aware of that. Finn Parrish runs out from fullback. Horrible helicopter. Lands up with Zedegai Copland. He drops the ball. pushes it out to the advantage of a teammate though, but he's immediately tackled. The umpire let play go on. Quick kick comes out of the pack. Punched away from the pack there. Coming onto the ball is Bartel. Gets it across to Indy Parish. Quickly across to Henry. He kicks long down the line. There's only East Geelong defenders. But that is incorrect disposal. That is a great effort there by Lee Ellis to win that. He's got no one to kick it to though. There is no one forward of the ball. So he's kicked long now. Henry's made a lead down the line. Can't quite hold the mark. Gets the crumb though, tries to get away from opponent, tackled immediately. The umpire said he was held without it though. And big Tom Henry will have the ball forward pocket, very tight angle, club room side.
There's still no one there. Am I right about their structure?
Well, yes, they're maybe working to defend too hard. Or, Grubby, are they being lazy because they're not prepared or don't have the fitness to run back? But they've been caught out a lot.
They had to go to the boundary line. They had to go to the boundary line. There was no one there.
So Henry, from a tight angle in the forward pocket, kicks it right into the square, and it's going to be a mark, or it's over the line for a goal. The umpire says it's a mark, and it is Cody Eagle, the younger of the brothers, who's going to have a shot for goal on the goal line, right through the middle. A little bit of flair for Winch. It brings up their half century. They are 8-3-51, is about to be right? Yep. And East Geelong still sit on the neat 100. We're 28 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter.
Do they watch like AFL footy where they go up the ground, but the AFL players are like 1,000,000% fit and they get back? But Winch are getting themselves into a situation where they can't get back. They had to go wide. They were a bit lucky. You know, they got a free kick out of it. And young Eagle, I was expecting some pretty big things from him from all the talk, but that's probably the best and almost only thing he's done all day, really. So there's improvement in these kids. Don't worry.
So the ball back in the middle of the ground. It was Eagle that got the ball out of the contest. Again, it's not going to come out of there too quickly with the number of players around the contest. So we're going to have another ball up which will take place. Pretty much similar place in the middle of the ground. Ball from that contest. Again, Eagle gets the ball down. Cord de Mars had it and he went back and Izad got it again into the hand of Beardsall. Goes into their forward line. As the siren sounds, Smith says, I want to take the mark, I want to shoot for goal, but I don't think it's too far out. The game has ended. So it is going to be East Geelong 14-15. They will beat Winchelsea on 8-3. And the goal kickers for the game, Zach Smith with 5, Watson Searle with 3, Ryan Lemper with 2, 1 each to Beardsall, Cord de Mars, Hoff, I'm going to call him the Hoff, Izard, and for Winchelsea, Tab Sawney with 3 and 1 each to Gould, Kendall, Eagle, Copland and Parish. We'll take a short break.
Hang on, before you take that break.
Righto.
Right, Inverleigh easily, Belmont easily, Belpost Hill easily, Thompson 2 or 3 goals, Corio 77-76. It says in progress, but I have inside information that that's the final score. So I think Corio have beaten West. And there was another one too, but that was the main one I was looking at.
So there you go. So we'll come back and we'll wrap up things here. You've been listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
match of the day, only on 94.7 The Pulse.
Yes, here we are at the Auswide Plumbing and Civil Oval at East Geelong, where the home side and now the warm premiership favourites East Geelong have kicked 14-16-100 to Winchelsea 8-3-51. And that was a pretty comprehensive victory in the end. Grubby will go through it in detail. But the other big news is he said Corio have officially, he believes, beaten West Geelong, which says a lot about the good things happening at Corio. But it also
not on the app. Not on the app. The app says the game's still in progress.
Yeah.
But I got a message saying they'd won. So if they don't win, don't yell at me.
we don't know exactly Werribee Thompson. Thompson was 17
points they won by. Thompson beat Werribee Centrals by 17 points.
Okay, so that's official. And Bannockburn have well and truly lowered their colours to Bellpost Hill, 58 to 113. And Belmont Lions, that's a pretty comfortable 21-point win.
Lead,
86 over North Geelong's 67. And Inverleigh big winners over Anarchy. So there's a few upsets there, which shows that the top of the competition is very tight, and it's going to be very difficult for teams to compete. But we did learn today, Grubby, that if there is a premiership favourite, it's East Geelong.
Look, I thought, sorry, I got another. They definitely have won. Corio have beaten West. So there you go.
Right.
I thought that they were probably premiership favourites coming in. But then the way Winchelsea have been going, they've been a bit up and down, but they've got some really good players. And I thought, well, to hold on to that premiership favouritism, they're not just going to have to win, they have to win well. Well, win well they did, because I reckon from about the 3-minute mark of the first quarter, Winchelsea were never, ever in it. They were never going to win that game. I know we try and keep an open mind here, but you could just see that they were a much, much better side. Now, it's hard to judge Winch because, as we just said, they're premiership favourites, and I think they're the best side in the comp now after watching that. First time I've seen East, very, very, very impressed. Winchelsea got a lot of work to do, and as you bloke said in the break, I think Jackson Smith, Caleb Brown, they've still got a couple that come in, and they're really, really good players. So that will help them. But next week they take on West, I think, out at Winch. So, but then West's form, they got beat by Corio. I tell you what, you know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Are the Devils any good? You little beauty! That's great to see. They've been
It
down.
is good.
They won last week. We weren't convinced in the second half. I know that, and I know Darren wasn't very happy. And they've come out today and knocked off West. And that is an unbelievable effort. And well done, Darren Bennett, Joel Bennett, and everyone connected with the Corio Football Club. Well done.
Grubby, in all seriousness, they've knocked over Anarchy in recent years, a couple of occasions, but that'd be their best win for 4 or 5 years, wouldn't it?
Easily. That's their best win. And I tell you what, they played well against Inverleigh first up. They had a blemish against Thompson. Their form's been terrific. We saw them firsthand last week. Young Burns and what was the other kid? The kid that kicked the goals?
Jelinek,
yeah. They've got some kids to help Joel Bennett out. Joel Bennett's been doing it on him, and Toby have been doing it on their own. And all of a sudden, they've got blokes around the ground. The bloke that what was his name?
Hall.
Jack Hall.
Best on the ground.
Well, they reckon he was. But look, they've got some really good players. And
Logan
still
Dixon was good.
Yeah, Cotter.
Bo Burney.
Burney did a great job. So
yep. Jacob Clyden, and we also met the other bloke that was down back. Doyle.
Jackson Doyle. He's a good player.
They got some young kids, a good young group there now together. The idea thing is obviously win some games of footy and keep them winning and keep them flowing. But obviously their second half today must have been far better than what it was last week to be able to get headed and then fight their way back and beat Geelong West out there today.
Well, I said last week that it's the best 0-3 they've ever had, and I wasn't being facetious, it was. But I just started to worry that they might win 2 games for the year and they'll both be Anarchy. And does that put them in any better place than they've ever been before? So a win today like that does. It means that the Corio boys are on the move. And it's about time. Their off-field stuffs they've got tremendous. And now their on-field stuff's coming, and I couldn't be happier. Now, where were we in this game? Who won? East.
Yeah, 29 scoring shots to 11 too, Grub. So that's pretty.
Yeah.
You know, the scoreboard probably flatters a little bit at 50 points.
That's always a really big tell in a story, isn't it? Shots at goal, and you count Jackson. Watson Sells 3 out in the fulls. They really did pepper the goals. too easily at times, and the way those two forwards were able to win the ball on the lead says a lot about, the quality of the disposal for East, which was miles better than the opposition. Grubby, they've got this really consistent plan, which is obviously a team one, where they're prepared to kick the ball 40, 50 metres directly across the ground to the open wing, and it just sets them up every time. And it's Crombie and King, who were two, and Mulville, that were the ones that made position out that wing and gave them an out, and it sets them up well.
They've been doing that for a while. They've had that game, but it's had its flaws over the last, well, not so much last year, but a couple of years before that. We saw Bellpost Hill tear them apart doing it by putting so much pressure on that those kicks come undone. But what they've done now, they've learnt to kick it under pressure. They've learnt to back their kicking. You know, even if it's a 2-on-1 with a bloke in the middle, they back themselves to put it in the middle, and it works. And that's the way they do it. But I was really wrapped in the way in the first quarter when they had that breeze, they were kicking it long to position. Right? At the start of the second term, when the wind was still there against it, then they went the little short game and ran the ball into the wind. They played football how football's supposed to be played. And that's why they were far too good for Winch. And as I said, I don't think we can take too much away from Winch just yet. They got some players back, but today they came up against what I think at the moment is the best in the business, and they weren't good enough to do that. Maybe they're good enough to beat some of the other sides in the five and make the five themselves. But at the moment, they're a fair way behind East Geelong. And the boundary umpires did a magnificent job, boys.
Fantastic job.
Well done, boys.
Fellas.
Good on yous.
Just a quick take a breath over at the netball court. Winch were leading 12-4. East have come back to lead 19-18. But like all good sides, Winch have rallied and have now gone back to a 25-21 lead in the A-grade netball.
Shut up!
It's a very important contest over there, Grubby. Top spot on offer. Very big day.
The football team's over there watching them.
Yeah, they are. So now,
Well, some of them played
votes.
like netballers today.
Well, actually, I don't know whether I'd be doing that. As I said, there's probably better other things to be concentrating on than doing that, I would think.
I agree.
Votes. I've got to give my votes today. I'll go first and be opened up for criticism, which I'm more than happy to do. I'm going to give one vote to Zach Smith. 5 goals for. It was a very elusive forward. Did a marvellous job. Set a couple up for teammates as well. 2 votes to Ben Crombie. Love this kid. Liked him all the time. He was really good. Played like a seasoned veteran today. And although in the losing side, I'm going to give 3 votes to Devise Sawney because I thought across 4 quarters he won the ball. He kicked beautifully. He shone well above all of his teammates and topped it off with 3 goals. It's not often you do it in a losing side, but to me he played well enough to earn that today.
I left Tav Sawney out of it, but as I said, his first 3 corners were as good as I've seen him play a game of football. As I said, his delivery of the ball is exceptional. So, but unfortunately, didn't get my votes. Tim McLennan got my 1 vote. Thought he was great through the middle of the ground. Actually, as I said to Grub, I think during the call of the game, I think he's. As I said to you, I think he's more mobile than he's ever been before. So I gave him 1 vote. I gave 2 votes to Ben Crombie. I think his football has improved. He was already a good footballer, but today he's just added another string to his bow where he's bound to come into the middle of the ground. And my 3 votes went to Ryan Lemper. I just reckon his work from the contest with his speed and then to be able to use the ball the way he did was excellent. So I gave Ryan Lemper my 3 votes.
And two goal of the day, Corio Health goal of the day.
Corio Bay Health.
Corio Bay Health goal of the day contestants, if you like, which Grubby will judge on shortly.
You better get the calculator out of here.
Hello, here we go.
I was going to give 1 vote to either Beardsall, Lemper or McIntyre.
All good.
But I end up giving the 1 to Zach Smith because if a full forward kicks 5 goals, he's done his job almost as good as anyone else on the field. So 1 vote to Zach Smith. I gave 2 votes to Sawney. I thought he died out a little bit in the third, then come back. But I reckon if you count his possessions, he'd be up around the 30 odd. I thought he was pretty good. But the 3 votes to me is a bloke that completely dominated his position. He smashed the Winchelsea ruckman all over the park. He took marks around the ground. He rove the ball 15 times and got off the deck, and his kicking for a big bloke in the field was magnificent. And Tim McLennan, for me, was best on the ground.
Well, there you go.
So work that all out.
So who did you give?
McLennan and Sawney have got 5 each, I reckon.
And Crombie.
Crombie's got a
He's got.
He got
Did
4.
you give him any?
No.
No.
So he's got 4.
McLennan's got 5, 4. Did you give McLennan a vote? No.
No.
4. So it's got to be Sawney and
McLennan.
No, McLennan only got one vote. He didn't give him a vote. You
I gave him 3, and you gave him 1 as 4.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave him 1, not 2.
I
So
gave
he's
him
got
1.
4.
Nah, Sawny's got 3 and 2.
Okay.
3 and 2 is 5.
He's won it.
Yeah.
I should declare a conflict of interest, I suppose.
He was in mine. I just the last
yeah.
part of his game, he just sort of faded. But I reckon he had his knee strapped, so I don't know whether he copped an injury, but he was still out there. Valuable player. Like I said, I've seen him play as a junior through Winchelsea. Him and his brother Ricky were bloody good footballers, but that was probably the best game I reckon I've seen Tab play. So whether his time away at Newtown last year and the last couple of years, or
I think he used to be sort of a winger, half forward, a bit lazy, but I reckon his time at Newtown has made him get fitter and work harder and understand the game better.
He did the 2 coloured boots when he was back at Winchelsea playing juniors. I think he used to swap with I don't know if it was his brother used to swap them over or someone else in the team did it, but they often had 2 blokes with different coloured boots on the opposite feet, so they obviously couldn't buy 1 pair of boots between them, but they brought 2 and split them.
I've got a bigger question for you.
What's that?
How do you spell Tavue?
I just put
T-A-V-U-E.
I just put Tab, T-A-V.
And S-A-U-N-I.
S-A-U-N-I.
Beautifully done.
And he's won our Hotham Hotel Player of the Day.
Yes, he did a really, really good job.
$50 meal voucher. And I tell you what, it's as good as food as you'll get.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. We love our sponsors here, and we try to mention them as often as we can. I think the siren's gone at the netball over there, and I think there's more happy blue dresses than there are. There's a bit of cuddling going on in the blue camp. I'd say Winch have hung on to win, so they got revenge in their. That's a good sign, the football team going over there for that.
No, it's a terrible sign.
Not when you lose a game.
You lose a game like that, you should be in there, and Butch Shaw should be tearing strips off his
He spoke to him on the ground, but
I think
a
club's got to be bigger than that.
As a club, that's fine.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not for that either. They've got their own battles to fight. They're winning the game of football. Of netball, these guys haven't won.
Yeah, it's official. Winch win by 1 goal, 27-26 in the netball. So they might have got a little bit of a lift out of the boys going over there and cheering them on at the end, and they can go in and sulk now if that's what you think they should do.
No, they should think about what the hell happened here today. If they think they're a final team, right, after today's performance, they're not. So I think they can be. I mean, I think they've got some really good players who were down. They tell me how good a player Brenton Reese is. Well, they're either telling me lies or he had a bad day.
Yeah, well, he was okay, but
yeah.
But no, I'm being told he was going to be the best player in the comp. This is not his fault, by the way, but I've been told he'd be the best player in the comp. On today's performance, he's a long, long way from it. He looks the goods, and he might be one at some point, but at the moment, he's a long, long way from that. Lee Ellis, I've watched Lee Ellis over the last couple of years, and some of the games he's played have been magnificent. Today was poor.
he kicked 45 goals last year on one leg.
Yes, he's a very good player, but today's performance was poor. So they should be reflecting on their performance and saying, right, we've got to improve, or we might miss the 5 altogether.
Yep, we've seen a good game of footy though, because we saw a very good side, the premiership favourites, East Geelong, and some other games that have gone other ways have shown we're a long, long way away from knowing the top 5. Bannockburn, the reigning premiers, were undefeated, and now they've lost 2 in a row. Bellpost Hill have been a bit wobbly. Geelong West we thought were going to be premiership candidates. They've been beaten by Corio, and Thompson now remain with East Geelong, the only undefeated teams. They play each other in round 9. I reckon I know which game you'll want to see that day.
Well, as long as they're both undefeated, which they probably still will be.
So who do you want to watch next week, gentlemen?
That's one of the games.
I'll give them to you right now.
Where do I go and see Winch again?
Next week we have got, where are we? Winchelsea are playing Geelong West at Winchelsea. Bannockburn are playing Corio.
Tell you what, that mightn't be too bad either on the form displayed today.
North Geelong Inverleigh. Thompson Anarchy. Werribee East Geelong. And the Belmont Lions play Bellpost Hill. So I suppose...
it's either at my doorstep or your doorstep. Oh, pretty close to your doorstep.
Yeah, so... Well, I won't be there. I'm away.
No,
Mark
he's not
Spider
there.
Brady will be there. So...
Well, I'll tell you what, if Mark Spider Brady's going to be there, I'm not going to be, because he has got no idea. He's an imbecile.
He will be listening. He will be.
There he
listening.
is.
There he is. There. Is Spider in next week? Well, he's obviously not listening to me calling him, but yes, he is.
Yeah, Spider's in. Okay, gentlemen, where do you want to go? So Robert Eagles can get the promo set up for the station this week. Is it going to be Winchelsea v the Giants, or is it going to be
Bannockburn Corio.
Bannockburn Corio?
You can call it, Grub. I don't care.
Don't worry, mate. Don't worry, mate.
You haven't seen West yet. Should you have a look at them to make your assessment
Yeah,
of
we'll
them?
go to Winch. We'll go to Winch.
Yep.
How are you going to be work-wise, Grub? Are
I'm
you
not working next
Right.
week, every second week. That's why. Look, I think Werribee must have played pretty well today. Might be a chance to topple East at home if they get a good day for it. But I'm working the following week.
Yeah.
I want to go to Werribee when I'm working.
when you're working there?
So I can get straight there rather than have to, But look, we haven't seen West. There's not many teams. Who are the teams we haven't seen?
Haven't seen. We've seen North Geelong. We've seen
Haven't seen-
Inverleigh. We've seen
I
Thompson.
haven't seen the Lions.
We've
You've
seen
seen them,
Anarchy.
mate.
We've seen Werribee. We've seen East Geelong now. We've seen Belmont. Seen Belpost Hill. Seen them all.
We better go to West because we haven't seen West.
Yeah.
All right.
Winchelsea versus West next week is the GDFL match of the day to everybody, but in particular Robert Eagles, who will set up the promo, and the boys at Music Workshop need to know so the bus goes to the right place. Do you know where Winch is, Jules?
Yeah, they went there the day they were supposed to be at Belpost Hill.
Oh dear. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know everyone will be keen on the Elvis Hour starting.
I know it's cold, but there's always time for a cold beer.
There is.
So if you're in the east, you go to the Com the Fiend.
Yep.
If you're heading out of town, into the town, go to the Hotham Hotel. And if you're in the west, head out to the Yards Hotel where the food and the beer can't be beaten.
And if you can't, come and have a beer with a whale on tomorrow morning at Sunday at the
You can
West.
do that. No, Sunday you'll be out looking at, what are they called? the display homes.
The Fairhaven.
The Fairhaven display homes you've got to go to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Call in to see me for lunch then.
Yeah, exactly right. And if you've got a bit of problems with your legs and that, go to Corio Bay.
Oh, I'll go there
Help.
myself. I'm going there next week.
And the serious one. If you're in trouble,
Yep.
please give Lifeline a call because you can't do it on your own.
Definitely. Very, very important. There's a big suicide awareness event coming out at Winchelsea, Inverleigh on the 27th, 28th of the month as well. We'll talk more about that on the Pulse as we lead up to it. But Grubby's quite right. We know that all of us have troubles, and if you're really in strife, Lifeline do marvellous work. Get on board. So it's 50-50 each. East big winners in the footy. Winchelsea 1 goal winners in the netball. Thank you very much, Dale Smith, Grubby Cations, and thank you, listeners. But particularly thank you to Robert and Alan back in the studio for making this happen. You have been
What
listening.
about Jules?
Jules, you've done a sensational job today. Really appreciate it. You have been listening to GDFNL Football on 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.